everyone.
What's up?
Welcome again, once again, I shall say, to the live stream of today.
Yeah, I look different than I did yesterday, don't I?
Yeah, I was just going to say I'm Ja, and here we have Mike, but Mike seems to be a little bit different today. New glasses, I guess.
Yeah, eyesight's not as good. I'm getting one day older. It's
Really changed like overnight.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not as young as I was yesterday.
Well, we can't control time, can we? Yeah, guys. So I bet that some of you or most of you were also here yesterday. You're probably aware of what happened yesterday, but in case you're new or you don't really understand what happened yesterday, because this stream was supposed to happen yesterday at the same time, like our usual schedule, but unfortunately after about 20 minutes we encountered a nationwide problem with AMS IX, which is like one of the biggest internet hubs here in the neighborhood, well, in the Netherlands.
Yeah. It's like a backbone hub, I think, right? Kind of like that. That it's like one of the main internet hubs, indeed. Backbone.
Yeah. So even like some countries or some areas around the Netherlands were also infected or affected by this internet outage. So yeah, unfortunately we couldn't continue our live stream yesterday. So yeah, we had to cancel that one, and so here we are again.
You know what? I actually don't buy that story. I think it's a cover-up. I just think we had too many people watching the stream, and that broke it.
I was trying to be humble, but if you put it that way, sure.
That's the thing, I don't believe the official stories. Where's my aluminium hat? No, but I mean, to be honest,
Oh, I see Iron Box. Hey, haven't seen you in a while, I think. So yeah, guys, welcome, and today we hope we do not have any problems, or yeah, just hope for a smooth sailing from here on out. So of course, you're all aware of the giveaway, right? In case you have any questions left from yesterday or for right now, so if you have registered yesterday with all the actions that you had to perform for the giveaway, don't worry, you're still in the drawing pool for today. And if you're new, you can still participate by just going to msi.com/2/insider and there perform as many actions as you can or as you want. The more you do, the more chances you will have at winning this bad boy right here. So yeah, and somewhere in the stream we're going to announce the winner. But of course, before we give you this awesome prize, which I don't even have, this kind of specification, of course we have to tell you all about, or we feel like it's our duty to tell you all about what this little bad boy is all about, right? So what can you do, the ins and outs. So that's why we're also here, to brief you guys all what the capabilities of this MEG Infinite X are. So I hope you guys are ready, and I hope you're gonna have a lot of fun doing this live stream. So say let's get kicking.
Hell all right. I'm just copying the direct link to participate in the giveaway, by the way. Our chatbot should be spamming it every couple of minutes as well, but I didn't see it do that yet. So for those indeed just joining, and I saw a lot of people asking for it in the chat, so I just copy pasted it for you guys. So I hope that helps for you guys who haven't yet participated. If you've already done it yesterday, you can check it, but it should kind of tell you that you're already in, so you should be fine. So
I see a few questions that the people are asking if this giveaway is worldwide. So yes, it's international, it's worldwide, so you can all participate. I do want to give you a friendly reminder to not spam the chat, because we have a lot of people just in the chat having a good time, talking to each other, and it will be really...
Well, yeah, there's no use spamming anything about the giveaway in the chat, let's put it that way. So if you have any questions about the product itself or anything about the story that Ja's about to say, of course, that you can spam in the chat all you want. That's what we want. But indeed, so there's no command in the chat or something that you can do to participate.
Yeah, so you don't have to try that one.
Exactly. So please don't do that. And let's good luck to everybody. I really hope that somebody wins that really can use it and has a good time with it.
I see Eric is also in the chat, huh? You cannot participate, Eric. That's
Eric,
not how this
I'm sorry, you're already disqualified.
Exactly, by default.
Same like me and Ja, we are not eligible to win. It wouldn't be fair.
Yep. Too bad. That's how the world works sometimes.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
We're already lucky with our jobs that we get to work with this stuff on a daily basis.
Yep.
So we'll take that as a win.
I hope I already have plenty of time to work with this boy. So.
Exactly.
Okay, just to clarify, this is not the exact model you will have like this one, like literally this one, but it's the same model. But yeah, you know, it's gonna come fresh out of the box from our storage or warehouse, however you want to call it. So that's that.
Covered by warranty and everything like
exactly.
that.
So it's like brand new, so don't worry.
Untouched by Ja also.
Exactly. No fatty fingers all around the case.
No screws missing. Sorry.
Just pretend I didn't hear that, huh? Yeah, okay, guys. So if you have any real questions or something you want to know about, just post in the chat. We'll try our best to keep an eye out because it's quite busy in the chat as it seems. So we do our best. And if you're watching with other platforms, we suggest you to go to our YouTube channel because there we'll have the best way to answer the question for the chat and etc. You'll have the best experience overall. Yeah. All right, so let's get to what this desktop is all about. The bigger story of where does it belong, because we do have something new that we created, and I do have a little bit of a PPT prepared for you guys because we always love that, right? So just to get it kicked off, the bigger picture is that if you have used or seen or kept an eye out on our products, you know, the motherboards and the cases, stuff like that, the monitors, you might recognize these three kinds of categories like MAG, MPG, MEG. Well, we have also started using this in our desktop lineups to have a more unified and uniform product lineups where we have clearly defined or segmented all the products for you to be recognize them easier, to right away have an idea. Oh, so it's an MAG, so I can expect that this can come with this kind of features or this kind of level of features. So MAG is really like our MSI Arsenal gaming, which is like the basic, let's say, lineup in a specific product group. So Arsenal gaming, and then if you have like more gaming features, more features in general, you go to like MPG, so the performance gaming, so MSI performance gaming, MPG. And then when you really go all out, like with the best configurations and the best features that we have to offer, and with all the extras, you can go to you will land at MEG, so which is our MSI Enthusiast Gaming, which is the highest tier, whether it's like for motherboards, cases, monitors, or now in this case our gaming desktop. So our Infinite X right here is also our highest tier gaming desktop, so hence it's MEG Infinite X. So from the 10th generation on, we have also started to use MAG, MPG, MEG in our desktops for you to have a better understanding of where the products really kind of belong. And if you have any questions regarding this, just let us know. I'll try our best to answer. For now, anything that I might have missed, Peter?
Well, I'm trying to monitor. Most of the questions, unsurprisingly, are about the giveaway. Some people are asking, hey, how many entries do I need to participate? One is enough, basically. But it does work this way, that the more actions you perform, the better the chance that you'll win. It works like, you know, each action you perform is like a separate entry that will, give you more chances. So hope that answers the question. The giveaway has been announced, Abdullah. It's the pretty much the very product Ja is talking about. So that's also the goal. You know, Ja will basically tell you about what it is that we're giving away and what you can win, which is a whole system, basically a pre-built system.
Yep. Our highest tier.
Yes.
Oh, I see. CJ Bill is also in the chat. Haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
Welcome.
A lot of people that are usually the regulars. Always great to see you guys. Obviously, a giveaway like this will attract a lot of new people as well. So also very much welcome to all the people who basically are following the stream for the first time. I hope you guys enjoy the content as well. So maybe you can check back another time. Basically, by the way, also almost every stream we have some kind of giveaway. Not always as big as this one, obviously, but every stream there is some giveaway. So even if you just want to join for the giveaways, you can join pretty much every week and have a chance at winning something. So that's cool.
Yeah, and we noticed that people are really overloading the chat, and preferably we also would like to see English in the chat. This is because, you know, to engage other people, I guess we're having a more uniformed well, community, so you know, we don't like to exclude people. So, you know, preferably if you can speak English in the chat so everybody can engage.
Yes, and also because
easier for us.
Exactly, we will we speak a couple of languages perhaps, but you know, we want to keep this stream in English as well, so that as many people as possible are able to follow it, and we can give answers to everybody. So yeah, if you would like to keep it in English, that would be nice.
Really appreciate if you really tried not to spam.
Yeah.
So
also, if we're ignoring other languages, I mean, some of you guys might know we are Dutch. Yes, we speak Dutch. We can read it. We might not answer you or Dutch questions.
Might not look Dutch.
It's not that we're ignoring you. Again, it's because we want to make sure that everybody or as many people as possible can see it. We're streaming worldwide. We're streaming on multiple platforms as well. So there's YouTube, there's Facebook, there's Twitter, Twitch. So yeah, you know, we're trying to reach as many people as possible, and hope we can give you the answers if you have questions.
Yeah.
If not, enjoy the show, and hope you have a good chance of winning.
Yeah. So yeah, now that we're talking about MAG, MPG, and EG anyways, before I really dive into the Infinite X, just to give you guys a brief overview of the MAG section, because like I said, with the 10th generation desktop, we have more models in the Infinite lineup. So the Infinite X is not like the only model in this lineup. We have more Infinites. So as you can see here, we have like the MAG Infinite, which is also the 10th generation, and the MAG Infinite S, which is also the 10th generation. But the difference is that, well, the main difference is really the size. So the build, the Infinite S is really a small form factor build. So if you prefer something smaller that you can carry around with you, that you can keep on your desk, which doesn't take up much space, or if you like to just, you know, game on the couch and you have this on your TV, how to take furniture, it doesn't take up much space at all. So yeah, Infinite S is really like the smaller guy compared to the Infinite, the regular tower size, so like this size. And yeah, the specifications, they're very similar. So both coming with i7 and 10 and 700, so the non-K versions. As for GPU, also both going up to 2060 Super. So yeah, you know, quite well. I think with all the gaming titles out there, you can, you know, comfortably play them with this kind of setup. And of course, if you want to play like at super high resolution, like 4K, of course, and stuff like that, you need to get more in there. But this is, you know, for plenty of people out there, like really a comfortable level of configuration. So yeah, as for this kind of models, if you have any question, just ask them now. And if you're wondering like what the Infinite regular one, so the 10th generation, will cost, this one will come around at 1,300 euros or US dollars, but depending on where you are, this is going to differ, you know, with, you know, the regular reasons that we always tell here, because, you know, some countries have different regulations for tax and duties and stuff like that. And also, you know, some resellers might have a little bit different margin and stuff like that. So it might differ, but the regular Infinite will come at around 1,300, and depending on what kind of specifications or configurations you encounter, because this will also come with different configurations, the price will also differ. Yes. And the Infinite S will also come at around 1,000 euros or dollars, and the same story applies here for the price. So that's for our MAG series lineup for the Infinite for now. Actually, we have just started doing this since the 10th generation, so it's really quite new. So we don't have anything planned yet for now for the MPG segment. So for the MEG segment, of course, we have the Infinite X, which is this one right here. And yeah, this is the kind of specifications that you will expect with this one. So really our highest tier, together with the Trident X, but also the Trident X is like a little bit more premium in the sense of, you know, it's a smaller form. And there's like a just a little bit of a little bit more feature to the Trident X, but generally, specification-wise, they are at the same level. So both with an i9 and 10900KF. So this really, the highest configuration for the Infinite X is right here, up to the i9 that I just mentioned with C490 chipset. And as for the GPU, it goes all the way up to 2080 Super. Yeah, for the rest, you can already see here, it speaks for itself. Oh, I guess I'm blocking a little bit of the PSU
but
part.
basically, I mean, you know, what you're saying, the comparison between Infinite X and the Trident X, indeed. So Trident X is a bit more custom. I mean, Infinite X is also custom, but because it's a small form factor build, the Trident, you know, they have to be extremely creative in how to still make sure everything is cooled efficiently, which it did really, really well. But you know, when you're at it anyway, then you can also look at, you know, other innovative stuff to do. So that's why the Trident X indeed may include some more, non-standard stuff. I would say
exactly.
Not so common.
They both have their own perks. I mean,
Yes.
the Infinite X, you know, it also comes with our newest in-house AIO, so
Yes.
the all-in-one. In the Trident X, for now, it's still kind of difficult to fit in a big radiator and fans and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So, but there we also have our own proprietary custom-made air cooling. Of course, also with RGB. So yeah, not go into depth regarding these two, but they both have their own perks, and obviously the biggest difference is the size. So there you have that. And yeah, so that's for the Infinite X specifications. And this one, if you're wondering about the price, will come at 2,500 euros or US dollars, depending where you are. Once again, it's going to differ. It might be higher, it might be a little bit lower. But that's generally like the
price
what
point.
you should be thinking about.
I see
MSRP
an interesting question by Koki on Twitch. Any reason why it doesn't go all the way up to a 2080 Ti instead of a 2080 Super?
Yeah, well, Peter, are we allowed to talk about it?
Well,
I mean, it's not
for all
really...
intents and purposes, a 2080 Super can pretty much reach almost the same level of performance as a 2080 Ti, or very near to. It has a bit.
You're not losing
less
much on the performance in the first place.
Exactly. So it's not a huge jump in performance. So yeah, you know, you can do it, but there's really not all that much point to it. So, but I don't know if that's the official reason, but that's you know, my best guess, to be honest.
Someone's asking about shipment. Well, you don't have to worry about shipment. Everything is covered, so you just have to wait for the Infinite X to arrive at your house, and you're ready to use it. That's it. There are no small letters involved, you know, saying you have to pay 10% of the gaming stuff like that. Not at all.
You will, of course, have to provide some address details if you win at some point. I mean, that's obvious because, you know, or else you wouldn't be able to physically receive the product. But
yes.
Other than that, and there's no, you know, things like we will not share your information with other third-party people, so you won't get spammed because of this.
No.
None of that.
No shady
This
stuff.
is strictly one-time use. You only enter this competition, and all that we need the data for that we receive basically from you is basically to be able to confirm that, you know, yes, this is really the right person, and it is an actual person that wins, and not like a spam bot that just mass participates in giveaways, which also sometimes happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, somebody had a good question asking what kind of monitor would you use with it. So, you know, first of all, if you look at, you know, what kind of specification this has, it's really like an i9, you know, 10900KF and 2080 Super. So you really have like the two biggest boys out there, and yeah, preferably, or well, I think from our experience, if you paired it up with a 1440p monitor or even going into ultra-wide gaming monitors, that's definitely something that it can handle. So at 1440p, you can still comfortably play everything at max settings. And yeah, I mean, definitely be looking at 1440p because that's where all the monitors are heading to anyways. Monitor size keep getting bigger from 27 inches to, you know, 32 inches, which is more like the sweet spot nowadays, paired up with 1440p. I think there is really also where you can get the most quality and experience, but also the smoothness for your gaming experience. I mean, yeah, you can try 4K, sure. It will definitely work with 4K monitors too, but you're gonna you're gonna notice some significant performance difference with 4K because yeah, 1440p and 4K, there's gonna be a significant reduction in FPS. So I wouldn't recommend 4K yet, even for these kind of systems. But yeah, 1440p and 27 inches and plus definitely the sweet spot.
You can do it though. I mean, to be fair, if any system is up to 4K at the moment, apart from building your own system and or putting like a dual 2080 Ti or 2080 Super in there, but as builds go at the moment, this is one that would be pretty much most suitable for 4K. So if you are going to do it, this is a build that definitely qualifies.
Yeah,
but exactly like Ja mentioned, if you're making the jump to 4K, it's a pretty big jump from Quad HD. So yeah, you shouldn't expect obviously the same kind of performance. But if you watch the stream and if you know about the performance levels, you probably know already how that works. So you don't really need us to tell you that. But
exactly.
Both are great choices.
Yeah.
4040p, you can pretty much just do anything. Put everything on full and you'll still have a really smooth experience. 4K, some games you might have to tune down some things a bit to keep it smooth, but that's pretty much the extent of your first world problems right there.
I think you could have put it any better. Like it's really like a first world problem, right? Oh, do I go for 1440p or 4K?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm still playing
I
at
have to turn down one setting to stay above 100 FPS.
Oh yay!
Whoa.
Anyway, somebody actually made a good suggestion in the chat. Quite aware of our gaming monitor lineups, saying MAG 272 or 273. I didn't catch which one he meant. CQR. But yeah, excellent choice. 165 Hz refresh rate and curved monitor at 27 inches with all the premium gaming features. Definitely a good choice. He knows what he's talking about. Good to see. All right, I'm gonna continue. So if you can fish out any questions, just let me know.
Yeah, I'm trying to. There's like it's like a waterfall of text for me. So it's.
Have fun, Peter.
I know, thanks.
So yeah, we just talked about the specifications, and of course the most exciting part, well, at least I think for a majority of the people out there, is the GPU, right? So yeah, the GPU, like I said, up to 2080 Super. And if you compare this to like the last generation, you've had like a 1080, for example, you can expect that this is going to give you like up to a 62% boost in performance. So this is up to, it's gonna fluctuate depending on what kind of games you're playing, stuff like that. And compared to a 2080, a regular one, it's still, yeah, quite a, it's not really like a big jump, but like a noticeable difference. So yeah, this one also comes with a configuration of 2080, so non-Super or non-Ti. And yeah, so with that kind of system, it's also going to come with i7 10700KF. So yeah, there's quite some noticeable difference in the performance if you're wondering about that part. So that's for the GPU. Now, something else that we have improved in here with this generation lineups is really one of the, quite the convenience bringer, so to speak. So with Wi-Fi, it's really been tripled in speed. So compared to the last generation where you had like close to 0.9 gigabits per second, now you really have like over 2, so 2.4 gigabit per second of speed. Also, which is very important if you're like even considering gaming on Wi-Fi. I mean, still not really recommended, but yeah, so the latency has really been improved by like up to 75% of improvement in lowering the latency from Wi-Fi, because that was always like the most terrible thing about it. But Wi-Fi is still very favorable for when you're doing other multimedia stuff like that, or when you move your PC around, and sometimes in cases where you're relocating your PC and the cable just wouldn't reach it and stuff like that. Definitely right now Wi-Fi 6 a very favorable contender, especially compared to last generation. So they're a big step up. Yep. So yes, this one, the MEG Infinite X, will also come with Wi-Fi.
I see, by the way, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, sure.
I see a lot of questions about the specs. Please hold on, because just going through them, so many of these questions will probably be answered in the coming minutes as Ja goes through them individually. Also, I see a lot of people asking about when will we announce the winner? And basically they're asking,
Yeah,
because
Peter.
I saw some people saying, I want to play a game, so I don't know if I need to hang around or not. Just you can leave the stream on in the background, I think. I don't know how powerful your PC is, but usually you can just leave it on in the background if you want, so you can at least hear it during gaming. I mean, you do have to kind of hang around, obviously, because if you win, we would like to get your response and make sure that we have the right person.
Yeah, but also we don't have like an exact time, like even for us, to know like, then we're gonna announce the winner.
No. Well, I mean, to be honest, we got about. No, I'm not gonna say how much we got left.
You're not gonna say it?
No, but obviously, the idea is also we're giving away a great PC. So Ja is going to, is telling you about it before giving it away. So basically we're trying to cover, everything about it before we give it away. Yeah. If that makes sense. So
definitely.
so if you follow the stream, you'll know exactly, if you win, exactly what you're getting.
Yep. But besides that, we also try to give you some other tips and tricks and stuff like that, or recommendations,
like
or
always.
Just like when somebody was asking, what kind of monitor will pair with this kind of system, stuff like that. We'll also throw it out there at you guys. It's all free knowledge.
Yes.
Without going too nerdy about it, So yeah, hope you guys hang around, and sometimes during the stream we will definitely announce the winner.
Yeah.
So. Another thing, software-wise, that we have also quite improved upon is the software Dragon Center. You might already know about this because we have had this in the past systems too, but we kept on improving it because it was really something new that we created from scratch. And here later I'm going to demonstrate what else you can do, or what can you do with Dragon Center. What is it for? It's if you really like summarize it, Dragon Center is like a all-in-one care package for your gaming desktop or for your desktop. It's really where you can monitor stuff, where you can regulate hardware, where you can tune your system, where you can use presets for performance modes and stuff like that. But I'm going to show you what else you can do with it in just a minute, together with, of course, our Mystic Light. Here we have, compared to the last generation, to put in a little bit of more kind of different kinds of RGB in there, especially if you look at like the exhaust fan from the radiator of the AIO. And of course, now you have more opportunity to play with Mystic Light. And I'm also going to show you, what kind of stuff can you expect and how will it work in the live demonstration I'm going to do right now.
Okay. By the way, as Ja goes into that, for both Dragon Center and Mystic Light, this is especially a big step if you look at where we came from. If a couple of years ago we had. I don't know how many, beyond counting basically, different pieces and individual pieces of software that you had to download separately from each other for each different component basically. Even Mystic Light was its own software. So the big step there is also that we try to combine it all into one software package indeed, to keep it in one place. And go from there, but it's still it's still a work in progress. It's really difficult, by the way, to combine all of those things into one software. I can't tell you how difficult that actually is.
You were lucky you were still working back then, huh?
Yeah. But the thing is, it's a really good step, and we need to keep improving it, obviously. But it's already something that's massively improved from what it was, and yeah, we'll try to keep improving it as well. Always, if you let us know what you think about it, that's always good. We always try to monitor that if there's anything that you specifically like or don't like. Be sure to share that.
Yeah.
So Ja's gonna demonstrate it for you right now.
Okay, it's really hard to keep up with the chat.
Yeah. I'll try to call out things, but again, it's really difficult, guys. And honestly, what I really like as well is a lot of people in the chat. So a lot of people are asking questions, but also a lot of you in the chat are answering those questions already.
Yeah,
because
really appreciate that.
We can't answer everything, but there's a lot of guys in the chat who also know a lot of the hardware and have a lot of hardware knowledge. So really good to see you guys also helping out and answering some of those questions for us. So much love.
So here we have a Dragon Center. If you're familiar with the older ones, as you can see, the first thing that you'll notice is really the interface is kind of changed. So what can you do with all this? On the left side, on the right side, I'm going to show you right now. Like on the right upper part, you can see that there are like scenarios. So this is like really something that you can often very quickly access. If you don't want to get into details, you can very simply just go to scenarios and be like, I'm going to play my favorite game and I want the extreme performance, and that's it. Just click on this and that's all you have to do, and then Dragon Center will automatically like tune your system to have the best performance possible, really squeeze out every last of megahertz in your CPU and GPU and stuff like that. Make sure there's like the best connections between the hardware. But right now I'm just going to put it to balanced. I don't need all the extra power right now for the demonstration. So and yeah, here you have like gaming mode. When you go into gaming, you can select the gaming mode, and then you have all the gaming mode well, functions and features available to your disposal that you can tune and stuff like that. So let's see. Let's go to use the scenario. So this is what I just showed you already. So this is something that you can like right away just access from here. But there's also a dedicated window here for this. And also you can customize stuff like if you don't really like something, you can also come to here and just really, if you want to get into details here, you can tune some specific stuff and then just save it. And next time when you use the system, you can make sure to use your own custom-made preset if you're into that. Well, like I said earlier, you can also just monitor. So you can monitor the settings of your gaming PC right now, like for example the CPU frequency or the core clock. Here on the right side you also have like temperature, even the socket temperature, and the GPU usage. I believe right now, yeah, it's just like kind of inactive because there's nothing really requiring the 1080 or the 2080 Super to be working. So yeah, a lot of the stuff that you can, or when you're trying to get into this kind of detailed situation, stuff like that, you can also, try to be learning from here on out, because stuff here are very simple, and you can really, up your game when it comes to computer hardware and monitoring stuff like that. Me personally, I quite like it. I always have like the temperature of my CPU and GPU and the usage like available on the taskbar underneath your windows, So they always display the kind of temperatures and what kind of usage is at the moment. So here we have like also you can pre-record stuff for your gameplay, but for this you also have to download something extra and then you will get implemented. If you want to even change your monitor colors, especially for when you're like in a dark area where really the monitor is like your only main source, it can be quite a strain on your eyes. So here you can even go for something like eye rest. You make sure that your monitor is going to be more comfortable to look at because it's changing the kind of the blue light being emitted out of the monitor. So then you can make sure you can go a little bit longer before you feel really tired and really strained. So a lot of stuff, like I said, here we have dedicated section for LAN manager where you can prioritize, what kind of internet activities is being used right now, and you can make sure that you have the best latency and the best network availability for a specific dedicated, for example, a game you're playing and you want to make sure the multiplayer game is running at its best, internet-wise. You can also go here and just prioritize everything. Whenever you think something needs this kind of dedicated attention. If something is going wrong or you think something is not working properly, or you can also go to, for example, here, analyze, what's wrong with the Wi-Fi and stuff like that. So a lot of the information available here, and you can also do. Yeah, so right now I can't really check the connection here for the private because I don't have like the internet cable attached to it, so it's kind of working offline.
By the way, I see a lot of people also asking about can we see some performance? Can we see any any performance data? Ja is after this a little bit later in the stream. He's also going to do some live benchmarking in both benchmark tools, but also some live gaming. So you get some good indication of the gaming performance that you can expect on this, on this thing.
Definitely.
So it's coming, guys.
The stream wouldn't be complete without this kind of stuff, right? But
So
of course, first I gotta ease you guys
Yeah.
in, the basics and stuff, so you can understand, what's making it tick and what's making it perform this way.
Yes.
What are the extra stuff that you would get with it?
Yes,
So
all the goodies.
Yeah, and like Peter also mentioned, earlier, right now in Dragon Center you can, even access Mystic Light. So it used to be, I believe we still have it as a standalone app, but you're not required to use it anymore.
Yeah, on older software, I think.
Yeah.
But if you upgrade the software on most of our recent products, you will see that it will switch to the integrated Dragon Center. So it's kind of like, there's always a phase where you have to kind of transfer from one way of doing things to the other. So whenever you switch to a new platform like we did with Dragon Center, there's always some products which are kind of caught in the middle, I would say. But I think we tried our best to make sure that a lot of older products which started out with all the separate pieces of software also support the integrated version of Dragon Center. So you'll notice a lot of those products, if you go and look for updated software versions, it will refer you at some point to Dragon Center. So it should be safe to do that. It should give you a better experience as well.
So I see people asking regarding what kind of external RGB equipment or lightings you can use together with Mystic Light. Actually, we have a very, very broad compatibility with third-party or generally just RGB from other brands, from Corsair or anything in that direction. We have a very broad compatibility, and we actually have a dedicated landing page, especially for tailor-made for our Mystic Light and our partners.
Yes.
All the compatible third-party equipments and lighting. So there you can find out exactly what is compatible with it or what is not, and that list just gets bigger and bigger because we keep adding more and more compatible devices to it. So in short, yes.
I was going to say, that's a long answer. The short answer to how much RGB can you do? Yes.
Oh, yes.
I hope that kind of answers. But yeah, it's supported
tons of RGB.
by all the main popular brands out there.
So here, if you go to Dragon Center and you click on Mystic Light, this is what you see. And on the right side, you can already see, okay, let me first explain this little all sync part, because if you have more, for example, MSI keyboard and MSI mouse or headset or monitor with Mystic Light, most of them do have Mystic Light, but if you have them all and you use it, you can see I have right now also the Viper GK70 in use right now, and it also has Mystic Light. So I can sync these two by simply clicking all sync, and then whenever effect I choose, they will both have the same effect, like going around in the same ecosystem. So as you can imagine, if you have more devices available, everything is going to be all synced up. So you're not having like separate stuff just doing its own thing. And here you can really make sure everything works together. And it goes even beyond that, because in the past year or two, we have really tried to branch out the capability of Mystic Light, and that's why we have like included partners like Nanoleaf and Philips Hue or Philips Play. So it will even work with non-gaming brands, because I guess you guys are all familiar with Nanoleafs and Philips Hues. So even those kind of products will work with Mystic Light, and the way that you do it is by syncing them via NBLink. So the game mode, I will come to this in just a moment, but for example here, if you go to NBLink, this means that you can add Nanoleaf and Philips Hue. So you just have to click on one of the two and then discover. So they have to be, of course, be running on the same network system as your system is running. Otherwise, they cannot find each other. So as long as they're running on the same system or the same network, it can find it and then it will be connected. Really, that is all it takes. You just click on discover and then connect, and that's it. So it's same for Philips Hue. You discover and then you connect, and that's it. And then whatever you do, in this window you can choose what kind of effects they should all have. So now you can have the same rainbow effect projected on your wall, because Nanoleaf, that's generally where you will put your Nanoleaf, right? So on your wall. And your Philips Hues on the table or whatever it is that you put them, they will all be synced. So right now it's really like, how much RGB do you want? And Peter's going to say,
all the RGB.
Yes, right. You can like make an entire room into your Mystic Light enabled.
Also, if you want to know
system.
more about this, by the way, I don't know how long ago, but probably already like a year ago or something. We did a stream about how to, about this specific part and how to set up this part.
RGB
and I think it was called RGB All the Things you need. So if you look at the MSI Insider playlist on YouTube, you'll be able to find it. There you'll also find a bit more information if you are trying to do something like that. A bit more information, like step by step, on how you can actually do that. So yeah, but it is indeed like, RGB all the things. If you are all about the RGB, then this is for you.
Okay, so yeah, here you can choose all the effects, and then going even beyond that, we have the game mode with it literally means that it's going to be connected to the game that you're playing. Well, not all games are capable or compatible right now, but we're working towards expanding this more and more and more. We'll keep adding new titles. So for example, right now in this version of Dragon Center, you can already sync your Mystic Light and your entire ecosystem, so including Nanolief, including Philips Hue, with Assassin's Creed, Tom Clancy's Division 2, Iceborne, and Ghost Recon Breakpoint. So we keep adding more and more games. So what this means is that when you sync with one of these games, it's going to, for example, you can choose whether you want to have like an environmental effect, or together with some kind of special attacks, or when you're getting hit, or when your ammo's running out and stuff like that. It will all be projected in your entire ecosystem. Yeah. So now you have like live feed from what's happening inside a game being projected into your entire room, well, depending on how many lights you have, how crazy you are about RGB.
Also, by the way, something that's covered in the video about RGBing all the things, and it's really cool because it triggers on certain events in the game. So, for example, if your health is low, things will flash red or something. So it really adds to the immersion of stuff. It just broadens the PC setup to, well, how broad you make it, like all the lights that you connect to it. So your whole room, even your whole house, can kind of like, react to what you're doing in the game. Yeah, so that's, it's really cool.
Yeah, so I'm just randomly changing some effects for you guys to enjoy. This part you can see it reacts like right away.
Yeah. Lit, indeed. I think lit is a good description.
Oh yeah. So here we have like the GK70. You can see it's like flashing the same effect if the lighting allows me to show it, but it's too bright.
Yeah, I think that's.
But it's flashing the same effect.
We're in a studio, so we need a hell of a lot of light. So the RGB is hard to. It's obviously it works better if it's a bit darker, but yeah.
That's dark.
I think we make also some videos, some of our product videos on the YouTube channel, and there we always try to capture it a bit more, in a better environment with less light, and some of those videos are really, really gorgeous. So if you want to see some RGB goodness there as well, make sure to check those videos.
Yeah, I think you're starting to see it.
Yeah, exactly.
So right now they're both like flashing the same rainbow effect.
Yes. Just cycling through the colors.
Yeah, because they're both synced.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Mystic Light. It's really a very, very big topic. It's more than just our RGB. Well, technically it's not more than RGB, but you know what I mean, right? You can do so much more with it within the ecosystem. You can add so many more different kinds of brands to it, if it's compatible, and you can check that on our Mystic Light landing site. So yeah,
one thing just before you continue, Noé Javier, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, is asking if there's any significant change or upgrade with the VRM of the B550. Recently we had a stream all about the B550 range.
That was a big stream.
Yeah, so if you want to know more about that, I don't think we're going to cover that during this stream. So, but if you want to know more about that, there is content about that. Just check our playlist, and I think it was like 2 weeks ago or something like that. 2-3 weeks ago we had a stream about B550. You should find more information there, so that should tell you hopefully all you need to know. Hope that helps.
All right. I guess not that many RGB fans in the chat.
No, a lot. I mean, this is always it's a hate it or love it thing, right? You've got people saying, "Oh yeah, more RGB, the more the better," And you've got people like CJ Bill. Yeah, that's right. I saw what you did. You said something like, yeah, RGB takes power away from the CPU and GPU and reduces performance. Nice meme. Nice meme. No,
Yep.
actually, it does the exact opposite. It enhances the power. Everybody knows this. This is common knowledge. You know, I don't know how people don't know this. The more RGB you get, the faster your PC. That's how it works.
Yeah. I mean, the RGB wins the games.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know, again, it's something, you know, if you like it, then it's great, and you have it, and then you can play around with it. But you can always turn it off, and that's also something. If you don't like it, or you just want to go dark for a night or whatever, or during the day you want to turn it off, you can always just turn it off. It's, you know, the choice is completely up to you.
Yep. So now it's time to get our hands dirty.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh,
We're gonna operate.
Oh no.
On the Infinite X now. So, let me first just tell you that if I want to carry this Infinite X right here, I don't have to like grab it like the traditional ones, you know, with both hands like this. I can just simply use. Oh, the cable's a little bit stuck, but yeah, there's a handle. That
Disclaimer
takes care of
though.
just that.
Disclaimer though. If you want to do that, you have to lift.
I mean, you can just let it hang.
This is why Ja is doing this stream.
If I let it down, you cannot see the desktop anymore, right? So I had to make sure you can see it while I'm carrying it.
Yeah,
so I'm not cheating.
And you wanted to make sure they could see your arms while you were doing it as well, right? I don't blame you, but
well, actually, I was too excited to even think about it.
Come on, guys! Can we get a shout out in the chat for Ja's, you know, his what is it called? His biceps.
We don't have to talk about it. So
team biceps.
Yeah, just show you the handle, right? So yeah, that's really to make sure that whenever you're traveling around. So if you're someone that really likes to, you know, go to LAN parties, you know, for example, me, you know, even though I'm not the youngest anymore, I still went to my friend's house, like I believe last weekend. We had like a LAN party at his house, like with 4 people. Of course, we kept our distance. We made sure, you know, there was enough room, and yeah, it was really fun. And yeah, if you're also moving around quite often, you know, this kind of stuff is gonna really save your time. You know, it's gonna free one arm so you can carry more stuff. You don't have to run around the car, etc., etc. So yeah, we always make sure that, you know, why not put it there anyways?
I think we've got a new term here in the show while you're doing a stream.
Are we still continuing?
It's hashtag Infinite Flex. Oh, nice.
Okay, Infinite Flex. I'll take it.
Yeah. Well, the chat's going crazy, dude. They love it.
Yeah, I'm just not reading the chat right now because I gotta focus on the presentation, guys. It's becoming a distraction.
Yeah, he's blushing, guys. Don't give up now. Don't give up now.
I'm very tanned, so you cannot see that I'm blushing right now. So that's one of the perks of being tanned, you know. All right, so I just show you the handle. Now just, you know, for you guys to see like the ins and outs, like let's start with the outside, right? So on this side, obviously we have the tempered glass.
Do we need to go close-up cam yet? No, right?
No, not yet, but I'm just going to show you guys how it looks like. You know, it's really flashy and reflective, and I hope I didn't get my like my fry fingers, burger fingers on there. No. I don't believe so.
And I mean, even with this much light, you can quite clearly see the RGB inside already.
Yeah,
so,
but the thing is that this tempered glass is actually quite dark. So once I open this up, you're going to see like the biggest difference. And yeah, so like I said earlier, we added more RGB. So here we have like one more air intake fan that's, you know, having the same RGB effects as the exhaust fan on the radiator. That's really different also compared to last year. And of course, you see the brand new all-in-one flexing in there on the CPU, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, that's for the tempered glass side. And speaking of the side panel, this is not how it comes out of the box, because out of the box there is this little box right there. So it's like an oversized pizza box. And the tempered glass is actually being protected in this. So, you know, really to make sure during the travel or during the shipment, your tempered glass doesn't get damaged. So what's already on the case is this steel side panel.
Yes.
That's actually on the case when you first open this up out of the box. And well, maybe some people even prefer this over the tempered glass. I mean, cool, that's fine. It's all personal preference, right? And even here, you know, we make sure that if you prefer this kind of stuff, we have a dedicated hole cutout that's like a mesh.
Yes.
To make sure that your vertical GPU that's being mounted right here can breathe properly.
Yeah. Airflow is important, guys. Airflow matters.
Yeah, especially at MSI, we definitely place a lot of emphasis on cooling and airflow.
Yes.
All right, so let me try to show you guys the other side. So here, your regular Joe, just a side panel for a steel side panel for the back side that you usually do not enter. But I'll open this up in just a minute to show you why you want to enter this side, because this is where you do some of the upgrades, if you're planning on doing upgrades. So the back
Maybe
side.
you can answer this later, Ja, but somebody's already asking how many fans are in there.
How many?
How many fans are in there?
Fans. So right now, if you include the radiator, we have like here, the radiator, we have here the air intake from the upside, and then we have one more fan on the front. So yeah, if you count together everything 3. If you exclude the fans from the GPU and the fan from the PSU, really the fans attached to the case, they're 3.
By the way, are you sure that the fan at the top is intake?
Yeah, actually this is actually taking air in, because we don't have the regular hot air cooler that's like producing heat that needs to be taken away.
Yeah.
So with it all-in-one, we have more intake, so it can also help cool the motherboard.
Yeah.
So the backside, I guess for this part, we do have to change the angle because it's too little to see.
Sorry guys, people are telling me to shut up and let you open it, so go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna open it like right after I've shown you the backside, because the backside is a little bit different to see on our main camera, so we have to change the angle a little bit. Go. Look at the beautiful new background.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, we still have like the protective plugs in there. Really, I guess you told the story, Peter, or I'm not sure who told it. Like,
sorry,
when
which
people
one?
were asking like regarding this kind of plugs, because why are they here?
Oh, it's like for shipping as well. Not everybody uses all available connectors, and you know, if you sometimes, especially if you don't, you know, if the PC you just put it there and leave it there, there can get, you know, dust can get in there or other stuff, you know, dirt. So basically, it's the same when buying a graphics card. All the I/O openings, so all the connectors, they will have some kind of cover on it, and it's basically a dust or dirt cover. So it's basically just to make sure nothing gets in there that shouldn't be in there by the time you get it, and you know, everything works.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it.
And also, you know, I believe there were stories back in the days when people like really like knew nothing about computers, and they saw like, hey, there's a HDMI and DisplayPort right here that I can use. Some, I guess, actually did use them and complain about why their gaming performance was so poor and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, guys, you know, it doesn't matter if you're new or if you're expert at this kind of stuff, but just make sure you always try to use the dedicated GPU, which in this case is vertically integrated in the desktop instead of your regular Joe just, you know, being horizontal. That's probably in your case right now. So make sure to use this guy.
I think if you receive a pre-built system from MSI as well, and it has these things on the motherboard, the you know, display outlets, indeed, that will be probably the reason also why specifically in those ports there are these dust covers. But I believe there will also be kind of like a sticker on it somewhere, or at least something in the package to remind you of this. Because indeed, it's easy to forget, especially, you know, you get a new PC, well, I probably don't have to tell you, but you'll be really excited about it.
Oh yeah.
And you just want to plug it in and get going. So it's kind of easy to forget. You'll just, you know, you'll take the first display port that you can find and plug it in there. So it happens. It's happened to me. I'm not ashamed of it.
Good. Don't be.
No, that's the thing. You know, if you're excited, you just think, okay, just want to plug in and get going, and then, you know. So, but with a pre-built system like this, especially when you have a dedicated graphics card in there, always make sure to plug in your monitor into the graphics card, not into the motherboard, because the motherboard you'll be running off. If your CPU has an integrated graphics card, it will be running off that. So. Yeah, you don't want that, especially not when you have a, well, very expensive, like in this case, 2080 Super.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't plug it into the motherboard.
All right, so we can change back to the main camera. I'm going to.
Oh, people are asking, where's the social distancing, guys? Don't worry, we are. I mean, this is like, you know, Ja is. This
see,
is
my
like
hand disappears.
a different. That's why, like below here, it says 5 meters different distance between us. That's actually pretty much the case. I'm on the other side of the room, so we are. But we're happy that you guys are fooled, because that was what we were going for.
Good that you're aware.
I mean, I can like, you know, this is. I wouldn't be able to do this basically because I would slap.
Your hand got really big.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, so you probably have seen, because this is the tempered glass, and I can put my finger in there because there's like a good difference between, like half a finger between the tempered glass and the case, because the GPU on the side needs to breathe. Yeah. And now I'm just going to take off the tempered glass to show you guys what's inside here. It's really to take them off because they're being mounted by 4 thumb screws. That's all you need to do to take off the tempered glass. You don't need any
tools for this part.
Tools for this, yeah, indeed. They usually complain that I lose them, so I try to keep it neatly somewhere safe. Still have them all 4 right here. You guys are witnesses.
Yep. Well, you see it. You know, this is like a magic trick that Ja does, because you know what? You remember, he has 4 screws now, but when it comes time to put it back together, let's see how many he has then.
We can.
Yeah.
Very funny, Peter.
Hey, it's happened. It'll happen to me. You'll make fun of it. That's fine. It's fair.
Yeah, it's okay. I guess you're senior. I have to respect you.
Well, people are saying I have to respect you because of your biceps.
Wow. All right. Yeah, it just went off because I accidentally took out the power cord. Yeah. But here, I'm turning them on again. So, like I said earlier, quite some features I didn't mention in the slides because, you know, let's be honest, it's boring to read about them and hear about them, right? So I might as well just show them to you while I tell about them. So here, first of all, what you see is like our signature vertically integrated graphics. That's why also earlier when I said like there was a like half a finger difference between the tempered glass and the PC, that's because this guy needs to breathe. So the fan needs to take in air. And so here we have the Ventus 2080 Super Ventus XS. Okay, I thought I took the power cord out again, but okay. So why vertical? Well, first of all, it's stronger, so it's definitely going to be safer for the PCIe Express slot. And secondly, well, usually it's kind of cool to see your graphics card, right? So instead of just seeing like this thin side panel of your graphics card, now you can really see like in action, right? I mean, you guys might not think much of it, but I think me personally, I do kind of like to stare at my GPU and really see like it's right there, like staring you in the face, right? Instead of just being tucked away. There's
a lot of work and attention that goes into designing these things, so we try to make them look appealing, and that's difficult because what one person likes, another person might not like. But indeed, so we want to be proud of it, and like Ja says, it's also stronger in terms of transport. So it's not that if you traditionally horizontally mount a graphics card, you're in any danger, especially not if you tighten everything up correctly. But still, with transport, you never know what's going to happen. Obviously, these systems are pre-built before they are shipped, so there's a lot of transport going on when these things are put together already. So also, putting it vertically just reduces any chance of anything, getting loose or shaking loose or whatever. So it has a lot of advantages.
Yeah.
Some people are asking about what is the what is up with the the plastic cover on top of the graphics card. But I think that's one of the things you want to highlight, right?
You just got ahead of me, actually. So we just talked about the vertically integrated graphics, and behind it there's like kind of still space for accessing the lower part of the motherboard and stuff like that, but there isn't much behind it. Then the reason why this is like sitting right here and there is a cover in the middle is because this is our silent door cooling system, in which we make sure that we separate like the three main heat producing units so that they will have the optimal heat dispersion. So for example, the CPU on top has its own chamber. So this is the upper chamber, and then the GPU on the lower part has its own chamber, which is the lower chamber. And then here where it says Game Unlimited is the PSU chamber. So after I open up the other side, you will see where the PSU is being hidden. So you have three chambers in each where they have like its own airflow. So their intake, their outtake, and this way they will also not really make each other's heat even worse, because everything is mangled together. Yeah. So this is our silent door cooling, and why there is a cover in the middle. This is like the separation cover to make sure the chambers are properly in place. You can take this off, it's really easy. I mean, all it takes is 1 screw, 2 screws, and 3 screws. If you untie them, you can take this out, and then you can easily like replace your GPU, because then you just have to untie the GPU from the backside, take it out, put in a new one. I mean, I'm not sure why you want to do it right now, but in the future, when there's like even better upgrades and you want to upgrade, that's possible. So I hope that answers your question.
If you would want to, can you put the graphics card horizontally in this? I think yes. I think you can do that if you want to, but indeed.
Their option is there, but really don't see why you would want to do it.
Well, for example, indeed, like like I said, if the graphics card, if you upgrade to a new, bigger, especially maybe physically bigger, so it maybe won't fit because it's thicker, so it'll stick out too much towards the glass, for example, and you really have no other choice. Yeah, I mean, the point is you can if you want to. Yes.
Yeah, but then we also gotta check, because I'm actually not 100% sure if the horizontal, the first PCIe slot is in the way or not with the separation.
No, you'd have to remove the divider, obviously, if you want to do that. Yes, but
so you got to tune the system a little.
Yes.
Yeah.
And people are also asking how did you manage to put the card vertically that way? Maybe you can highlight that part. How with the extender cable, basically?
Okay. Now I understand the question. Yes. So let me see if I can point this correctly. Let me take something. I don't want to use my hands for this because, okay, screw it.
Yeah, I think that goes quite well.
Let me grab this. So here you see there's like a strap.
A ribbon cable.
Yeah, this broad black strap. And this one is, if you take a look at where it's leading to, it's actually, let me get this even closer. You see, it's leading into the horizontal PCIe slot. And this ribbon is going to extend through this cover down there into, let's say, an extended PCIe slot, which is where the GPU is sitting on, vertically. Yeah. So behind this, you can see, if you look closely in here, you can also see the black ribbon sticking down.
Yes.
So that's how this works. And you might be asking yourself, okay, wouldn't that like be jeopardizing the speed or bandwidth? No, not at all. We made sure that when we planned this, none of that is going to be any issue at all. You have all the original speed and etc. etc.
It's not going to bottleneck it, indeed.
Not at all. Good questions, guys. Keep it coming. I'm not sure if any of you noticed anything different from when I opened up the case, because I did do something, but I'm not sure if any of you caught it. So I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to think about, because there's the delay.
Maybe do it again and see if they notice it.
Okay, sure, I can do it again, but let's see first if anyone's going to answer what I did.
Let's watch the chat.
Yeah. If you answer correctly, this PC is yours.
No, I wouldn't go there because you'd have to give away a lot of them, I think.
I'm just kidding. I'm gonna get fired. So let's see. Is anybody catching on?
Well, they're getting close.
Somebody is saying shifted the dragon.
Oh, yeah, people noticed. There you go.
Well done, guys.
Nice.
I thought I was very subtle, but indeed.
You got to work on your sleight of hand.
Yes. Do you play Warzone? Because that's actually a perk.
Oh.
So the all-in-one CPU cooler, actually you can rotate it. So that's what I did, which I thought nobody saw, but apparently a lot of people saw it.
Do it again. Show it. Can you rotate it like 360 degrees unlimited, or is it like?
Well, I actually haven't tested out 360 yet, but I think you can. Yes, you can, but it's just that the power cord is going to be in the way if you turn it 360. Because
so if you turn it, the power cord will turn with it.
It's actually attached to the upper part that rotates. So right now the dragon is like pointing to this side with the head. So I'm going to rotate it back, and now it should be vertical.
Oh, Mike's in the chat. Well, at least on Twitch. Mike, also get on YouTube. He says you can rotate it up to 270 degrees.
Ah. Mike, the water cooling guy.
Well.
So yeah, here we have the little dragon that can turn. And it's not going to do anything to the system or damage it at all. No, not at all. But if you want to have the dragon sideways, you have the option.
Exactly.
Because why not, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is our new all-in-one water cooling, and this, okay, maybe I should.
Who won the PC? Nobody yet, guys. It's we're still going to announce the winner later this stream. So hang around if you want to find out if you won or not.
Yeah, and so the radiator, as you can see, runs all the way to here, which will push out all the hot air out of the case on the back side. So that's the current setup. And all of this is Mystic Light enabled, including the little dragon in the front, in the center.
As you can see, also, guys, it's using dual channel RAM. People are asking how much is it? I think you covered that before, but can you repeat?
Yeah, this is right now the 32 gigabyte version with 2933 megahertz of speed.
There you
go. So this is pretty much the internals. As you can see here, also a huge heatsink. This is actually our own customized, well, sort of like the proprietary kind of board. You cannot really find this. So tailor-made for our Infinite X.
Yeah. But it does still include a lot of the same features and quality of our motherboards.
That's why also earlier I mentioned Wi-Fi 6 is also in here. Of course, Wi-Fi, and it comes with a motherboard. So you're not missing out on anything there. So any questions for now, maybe?
Whew, a lot of. Can it upgrade RAM? Yes. You've actually got only 2 of the 4 slots filled in this case. Yeah. So you could you know, either replace the existing RAM modules or just put another couple of next to them.
And with this motherboard, you have the option to upgrade it all the way up to 128 gigabytes.
There you go.
So if you're planning on doing some heavy work on this, you have the option.
How many total fans? Already said that in this case it's 3.
Yeah, 1 in the front, 1 on the top, 1 on the back.
Yes. Let's see. Why does the RAM not have RGB? That is a great question.
Well, we can't give away all of the trump cards at once now, can we?
We need to have something to you know, for future models maybe to still do.
And of course, sometimes we also try to be a little conservative because not everyone is like crazy about RGB. So, you know, we're trying to keep it balanced. It's not too much, but it's definitely there.
Yeah.
Even if you don't want, hey, you can turn it off.
Exactly. Where are the hard drives? That you're going to show that in a minute, right? So if you want to know about that,
I'm almost done with this front part. So. Something else that I was just talking about when I was talking about the GPU and this cover is As you can see, a lot of the stuff here are really easy to access. So here we at MSI, when we are like getting you this kind of pre-builds, we also try to make sure to encourage you to do it yourself. So if you're planning on any upgrades in the future, or if you like this kind of stuff, I definitely do, because I always build all the PCs around my friends in my network. I just like it. But yeah, we try to make sure that you're encouraged to do it, and instead of hey, if you open the tempered glass, your guarantee is gonna be over. No, nothing like that, because we try to make it as easy as possible for you guys to upgrade, because we know that when you buy a system like this, even though it's a top-notch system, maybe in 2 years, something, NVIDIA is going to come up with something very, very powerful, even, a lot powerful than this, and you're going to be like, hey, I'm going to need this. And that you have the easy option to upgrade it. So this, in this case, we tried to do this with the RAM. You can easily take out the water cooling here. The GPU is further integrated. All you have to do is unscrew 3 screws, which will take out this little latch. And then you can just untie the GPU and just take it out and then put in a new one. And you should be done within a minute. So that's for the front part. We always try to, that's also what we try to communicate with you guys, is that all of our gaming PCs are easily upgraded, because we think it's important for you to be able to upgrade your PC after you have bought it, so that you're not stuck with something that's like very difficult to disassemble, and that you're not discouraged right away. So now let me tell you guys, or show you guys, what the other side is about. A little bit less exciting, I guess.
What is the power supply? Also, guys, if you want to see that, just getting to that in a minute. So he'll show you. Same with the storage and how to expand that. How to join the raffle. There's a link being spammed in the chat every couple of minutes by our chat bot. So you can go there. You need to perform a few actions, and then you're participating. You can participate for the giveaway all the way up to when the moment is when we draw a winner, which will be later this stream. So up until that point, you can still enter the giveaway, so it's not too late yet, guys. How much does it weigh? Well, that's actually a good question.
Ooh, I actually have to look that up.
Yeah.
What the weight is.
I mean, it's a full PC and it's quite powerful, guys. So it's not going to be light.
Probably going to get to it pretty fast.
Yeah.
But right now,
somebody's asking, how big are John's biceps? And what's the relation to the weight?
You want to add my WhatsApp so we can have more intimate conversations?
All right, so people are guessing. I'm seeing 15 kilograms, 10 kilograms, 15, 5.
Well, actually, you guys are kind of bang on, because like the net weight is like 12 kilograms.
12?
Yeah.
All right.
So pretty close.
There you go.
12, 15.
Yeah.
I see somebody looked it up. 12, 15. That's exactly the number. But yeah, now I have really undressed the MEG Infinite X. It's really all up there for you guys to see. So what do we see on this side? Like I said, a little bit boring compared to the other side, but here we have one more 2.5-inch SSD slot for you to fill whenever you feel like you need it. So on the board itself, there are already like 2 M.2 SSDs, so you probably are pretty good. But hey, I understand that if Call of Duty Warzone keeps updating their stuff like this, it's probably gonna be it's not gonna be a happy time for hard drives.
No.
But here you have one more 2.5-inch to upgrade to, and then all the way.
There's no drive in there right now, right? Just to make sure, because it looks, the connector is there, so it's also, you don't even have to, put a connector there. It's already there. You can just slide it in, basically.
Literally just slide it in.
Yeah, it's ready to go.
And here you can see, the other side, there are 2 grays left for a 3.5-inch HDD. It's getting kind of old, like Mike says, he hasn't used an HDD for years. But yeah, for people that still have HDD, and if you still prefer to want it or use it for stuff that are not important and they're still cheap, you can still put 2 of them in this bracket right here. And within the box, there's like a little box, and in the little box, you will find whatever you need to mount them. So here we have like more stuff, like even a SATA cable. And if you think that your side panel is not far away enough, you can even add more thumb screws to it
Spacers.
to connect them to make them even more spacious.
Yes, so you have spacers indeed to increase the distance between the chassis and the tempered glass.
Exactly. And then, of course, what you see here, this little black box, is
the power
PC.
supply.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the power supply's chamber, like all the way from here, like underneath to here. This is like its own chamber. If you remember the other side that I just showed you, it's completely sealed. Oh, I just turned it off. It's completely sealed off by this Game Unlimited cover. And this is to make sure that your power supply heat will never kind of like rise up and reach the GPU and other chambers. So you have optimal heat dispersion right there.
It's like social distancing for PC components.
Yeah, but then like permanently.
But it's like heat isolation indeed.
Yeah,
So it
never had a
serves
choice in the first place.
Sorry?
They never had a choice in the first place.
No, that's true. Yeah.
So yeah, otherwise there isn't that much to tell anymore. I mean, if you're really that interested in the 2.5 inch
People are saying stop killing the PC.
No, I haven't even started with taking out the hardware. So just be a little bit patient and we'll kill it even more. And then probably send this to the winner so I can keep the good one.
This is a good idea maybe for future versions.
What?
High F33D or High Feed is asking, where does it cool my beer?
Whoa.
That is a thing that I don't think we've considered yet. I think we need to look at that, how to do that, like additional water cooling.
I think we have a winner idea.
Yeah, we're taking notes. Next big event like Computex CES, you know, we'll see if we can do something.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna shoot this idea to the higher ups.
Oh yeah.
See what they think.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, something else we see here, I might as well just touch upon it, is that this is like for people that don't really understand like motherboard and stuff like that. This is like the backplate of the CPU mount on the front. So like here, if you scratch this part really hard, you're gonna have a bad time.
So probably
don't do it. But now you know.
But basically,
so, like,
just
right
don't touch that part unless
so
you have to.
This is really like the backside of the heart of your PC.
Yeah.
Because on the other side sits the CPU, where the cool dragon is being placed. So just never touch this part, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
No need to. All right, now I'm just gonna put the cover back on, unless you guys do have anything that you want to ask about.
Damn,
this part.
you guys are. You're blowing my mind right now. So you already thought about, you know, we need something to cool beer, and now you're saying, but you know, at the same time, it needs to heat my pizza, or you know, heat up my coffee.
Okay, what is it? Coffee,
but, I mean,
pizza, or beer?
It makes sense because there's a lot going on there. Obviously, heat's being produced by some components, so we might be able to use that to heat up some coffee or stuff like that. And the pizza, I don't know. I mean, that needs to be pretty hot, so I'm not sure if we want to shoot for 200 degrees or more. Maybe that's something we want to stay away from. But you know, and the cooling, it's I don't know. I'm liking the idea. That's something that will be right up my alley.
I can see that happen.
Oh yeah. Can it make ice cream too?
Wow. Now you just yeah. I think we're talking about the gaming PC here, right?
Can it clean your house while it's doing this? You know, can we like do the laundry and stuff? Pay your bills?
Well,
maybe
if that's possible,
that would be awesome.
Give me one too.
Yeah. You know. Anyway.
Okay, so
is the power supply platinum or gold?
It's actually bronze.
I thought it was bronze, yeah.
Yeah. In this case, you know, 750 watt and bronze is like, even with the loss, it's more than enough to power up whatever is inside. I'm actually going to show you later what exactly it is that they're going to require, so you have a better understanding of just how much this power supply is actually.
Mr. Masterdox is saying, can you marry it, call it your wifey? I don't see why not.
I know a few people.
I'm not sure if it's like a legally, you know, it will be legally recognized everywhere. But if you want to do that, then you know, yes, I think you can.
Ooh, getting really hot in here. Okay. Any other useful questions or suggestions? Yes, you can run Crysis. Yes,
Yeah,
of
I was
course.
gonna say yeah. Well, I mean, game benchmarks are coming up, guys. So wait, you know, you'll see that in a minute. It's a powerful PC, but can it beat Goku? I think so. I don't think Goku has this much power.
You're asking. I mean, which form is Goku? Like Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, 4,
Nah,
5?
all of them.
I mean, this is like sitting comfortably, like at least as Super Saiyan 3.
Yeah, it's
And
way over 9,000.
If you turn the water cooling, it's gonna go to Super Saiyan 4.
It's way over 9,000. What about warranty? So I think standard warranty applies.
Standard 2 years.
Yep. And like Ja said, even if you you know, take out the side panel because you I don't know, you want to clean it or you want to replace it or whatever, that doesn't void the warranty.
Nope.
But if in the process of doing that you accidentally break the PC because you hit something on that will kind of do that. So
yeah, so you can open the PC up, but it doesn't mean that you're like utterly like guilt-free whenever you do something.
No.
So you still gotta be careful, of course, right?
Yes. If you don't feel, for me, I always say, if you don't feel comfortable to open it up, or you're just not sure if you know what you're doing, don't do it. Get somebody else to help you, or explain it to you, because it's always cool to learn about this stuff. But yeah, make sure you're comfortable with it before you actually open a PC up.
Exactly. Okay, because we saw on the other side, right, there are no SSDs or hard drives being installed. That's because there are already two M.2 SSDs on board, one of which is right here that you see with a white label.
Yep, just underneath the cooler.
The CPU. Exactly.
Yes.
So you can see better now.
Can you overclock the Edwin K? Hello. Can you overclock the CPU and graphics card? I think. Well,
you
correct
have
me if I'm
like
wrong. Is it a K version?
Yeah, it is K. You have
there
a tiny. You can yes.
Yes.
But you have a very tiny bit of room left to gain anything because you know this 10900 is already like running at its max, and this well. Even though it's a water cooling, but if you really want to overclock that kind of beast, yeah, you might want to bring more cooling.
Yeah. So you might need to cool or you know get a what is it, a 240 rad, for example.
Yeah.
Is that possible, by the way? Can you put a 240 rad at the top? Is there room for that?
Yeah, if you take out this first one, you can.
Right. Okay.
Like that's already mounted there.
Yeah. So even if you want to upgrade or you know take a more beefy water cooling, you can. There is room for that in this.
No, why would
system.
you get rid of the dragon?
No, you don't want to, obviously. But you know, I think we also have cooling with you know more beefy cooling. So if you want to upgrade to an even more you know stronger cooling dragon.
Yeah, I believe we even had a giveaway, not 2 times actually, right? We gave away 2 all-in-ones in Mike's live streams.
A couple of weeks ago, indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were really nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
and the GPU, I mean, you can upgrade. You can you can overclock it. You know, like any using MSI Afterburner. Yeah. So pretty much.
Yeah. In just a moment, I can show you guys, you know, what you can do with this, even GPU-wise. Because one, definitely there is still some headroom left for you to win. It's not much, but it's still there. And secondly, you can start to learn how you can do this kind of stuff. Yes. And that's like a good beginning. And later, I will just show you guys how to do that with Afterburner. Okay, so yeah, you've seen also where the M.2 sits. Well, the other one I can't really show you because it's like behind the GPU, so can't really take it out right now.
Yeah. I saw some questions earlier, indeed. How many M.2 slots there are? I think this answers it, right? There are 2 on the motherboard. Or are there more?
No, there are 2.
There are 2. Okay, so that answers. I hope
and
that
they're
answers
already
the
covered
question.
right now out of the box.
Yes.
So yeah, if you guys don't have any questions for now, I'm gonna take the other Infinite, which is the Infinite 9th, and show you guys
the difference.
What's really changed on the inside.
There we go.
Okay, wait. Let me make a little bit of room.
All right. How can I disable that RGB in Dragon Center? So you use the Mystic Light utility in Dragon Center, and you can simply disable all RGB, turn it off, or just put it into one color if you don't want, you know, multiple colors at the same time.
So much gaming power on one table. Then so here we have the 9th generation. Here we have the 10th generation. Well, design-wise, there isn't really that much of a difference because honestly, we got quite good feedback regarding how this is really being constructed or looks, and aerodynamics-wise, the internals are also good. So yeah, we didn't really do much with the design because hey, if it works, why change it, right? So yeah, but the biggest part is really the water cooling. So in the 9th generation, we also did start to introduce all-in-one water cooling in our pre-builds, but only specifically for the Infinite X. And make a little bit of room.
People are saying disable RGB, unplug PC. Yeah, that would work, yeah, but you would disable everything else as well.
I'll make sure not to give Peter any elbow in the face.
Oh, stay away. Yeah, what's that cam holder? That's actually a headset stand that we are using as a cam holder because it's actually more sturdy than most webcam holders that we've had here.
Yes, like people say, improvise, adapt, overcome.
Exactly. And if it's stupid but it works, it's not stupid.
It ain't stupid if it works. So yeah, let me turn this around. Make a little bit of room here. So here you see, anybody recognize what kind of graphics card this is? Back in the days we still had like the armor. So here we have, this was the 2070, RTX 2070 and i7 9700K
What do you mean
version.
What do you mean we used to have? We still do.
Yeah,
It's a 2060.
We still do, yeah.
You can still get these.
You
You're
still
talking
can?
about it like
Whoa.
it's like a part of history.
Yeah, so here we see there's also water cooling, right? There's also a dragon on there, but design-wise and...
It's the predecessor, right, of the one on the right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You see here we have like a sort of like translucent, transparent exhaust fan, and it really has a very different kind of effect, like less full and smooth as the one that we have right now. So that's for the RGB part. But if you compare these two, that's really like where physically, like aesthetically on the inside, where the biggest difference is.
Yeah.
So I guess you have already seen this pretty much.
It's refinement. It's more like, you know, the base design was already really good.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, when you look at the airflow, because you see the same silent storm cooling features. So it's more about refining the insides and, you know, fine tuning, I guess.
Yeah. And even improving on the cooling capabilities, and it was needed because really the 10 900KF, you know, compared to the 9900K,
Yes.
it's quite a difference. Definitely very noticeable. So we had to, you know, provide a better water cooling for the 10th generation. So hence also why we just completely changed the design, you know, provided more gimmicks, you know, make it tunable and stuff like that, having a better RGB aesthetic. So yeah, on the inside, besides that, there isn't really that much of a big difference. So the setup is still pretty much the same. The silencer cooling, it's still divided in the same way. It's just really, you know, different hardware are being used. Like for example, here we have like the RTX 2070 armor. This one also went all the way up to 2080 Ti, but still a different lineup.
Yeah.
So different water cooling, different GPUs being used. And besides that, the rest are pretty much still identical because everything else.
I saw some people being surprised that, you know, the larger of the two GPUs is actually the 2070 and the other one is the 2080 Super. So indeed, guys, the one on the right is the 2080 Super, and the one on the left is the. I'm not sure if you said 2060 or 2070, but.
No, 2070.
There you go, 2070. You know, the cooling on the 2080 Super Ventus XS is still pretty good. Obviously, if you have a bigger cooler, and sometimes it's not actually only the cooler that's bigger, as in the cooling surface. Sometimes it's also the appearance. So it's also in the shroud, and you know, putting the white, for example, around the armor also makes it appear a lot bigger, of course. So it's also about giving it more of a different identity. But in terms of cooling performance, I can assure you, whatever we put into the PC there and the vents as well, it's sufficient to cool what it has to cool, so it will do the job.
All right, so let me take this off the table. Maybe we can give this away too, huh?
Infinite flex.
The infinite giveaway, it never stops.
Exactly.
Okay, so now it's time for some fun part, guys. The benchmark and the performance.
Ooh, yes. I've seen a lot of people asking about this indeed.
So you guys can choose, do I put the tempered glass back on or should I just let it flex because you can see the RGB?
Well,
Or I can just...
guys,
Yeah, what do you think, guys?
You know,
should I put
just
it
say,
back on or not?
just say in the chat, just say on if you want Ja to put the tempered glass back on, and off if you want to him to leave it off. And I already know this is going to be a nightmare, because let's see if there's a clear preference. Oh, I see a lot of people saying on. I also see quite a few people saying off. It's difficult. It's tough to call this one.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't think that went through.
No.
I thought it was going to be
we need a
unanimous,
voting
like
system for this.
one-sided, but...
Yeah, but honestly, I think I've seen more on than off.
Yeah, so let's go with off.
So
I guess right now it can go wrong either way.
I'll just call it as being on for now. But thanks for voting, guys.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
I guess you guys are really listening. It's good to know you're listening. It was a test.
You've got their attention.
Okay, now let me just reconnect the HDMI and Dispro cables and fired it on. Oh.
Exactly. Let me know when it's ready. Should we try to see if the because you disconnected a couple of times, guys? So we have to check if it's if everything still works. Shall I check if it works?
If it still works.
Oh,
well, actually,
yep. I see it.
You see it.
Yeah.
Funny, because I'm not seeing it yet.
Oh, that's okay. I see it.
Oh, I think the power. I think I knocked out the power of the monitor because I'm not having any power. So let me just. Oh, I think I fixed it. Yep, got it.
All
it
right.
was the power cable that got loose.
There we go.
All right.
People were saying he does not like power cables today.
Yeah, I mean, it is the third time that I accidentally power something off. Yeah, I mean, it is. Yeah, there are some truth in that statement, definitely. I'm not gonna deny that.
No.
Okay, so first of all, of course, we're gonna do the all-famous Cinebench, right? Because it's never complete without a Cinebench benchmark. And especially looking at, right now with a 10900K, you're gonna have 10 cores, right? 10 cores, and yeah, whenever, because gaming, fine, sure, you already have like enough power and performance to game. But if you're doing more than just gaming, if you're, for example, me, I do a lot of editing stuff, like besides gaming at home as hobby, or maybe getting, maybe you might be more serious about it. You're also going to have that power besides you with 10 cores and 20 threads. This cable got a little bit stuck.
Oh no, not cables again.
Oh yes. So let me just fire up Cinebench.
There you go. So guys, again, Cinebench is more is basically a CPU benchmark indeed. So.
And for all of you guys who like to get into this kind of fun nerdy stuff, really getting to know what's happening inside of your PC, definitely go try out Hardware Info, because that app program really lets you see every little detail of anything inside of your PC.
And also, we're not trying to hide anything. So as you can see here, Ja's pretty much just putting it all out there for you guys.
So yeah, if you really are trying to get into all that kind of stuff, really, from CPU power to your CPU usage per thread, per core, to your hard drive temperature and stuff like that. If of course, if your motherboard is capable of doing this kind of sensory, then this app really lets you get into all the details that you might want to, all the things that you can't even think of. So it's all there. But right now, we're just trying to show you guys if I fire up Cinebench, like really running at max, what kind of power. Well, actually,
what are we seeing here? Indeed, maybe just quickly for the chat, just you know, tell them what you've got here.
So this is actually not properly aligned. Every time I reopen this, they shuffle places. It's really annoying. Okay. But so like I said before, so this 10900KF actually has 10 cores, right? But it's going to be a little bit too much to put all of the cores like per individual core to have each a graph for each. So I'm just skipping one core each time. Doesn't really matter. So like for example here I have core 2, core 4, core 6, core 8, and 0 is then 10. So each of them will represent the temperature. So I guess it is a little bit difficult for you guys to read what kind of temperature is being displayed here.
Some people are saying use magnification, but it's kind of, you know, the exact number is not important. That's why it's a graph. So you guys should be able to see, and this is, I think, the temperature, right? This is not the load that's on the GPU. This is the temperature.
Yeah, so the CPU temperature of individual cores. Well, I skip one core each, just like I said. But so
no, it's not important because I mean it is important, but you know, you should be able to see the difference. That's what it's about. So that's why you can see the graph. So you can see while benchmarking what that does to the temperature. So that's the goal here.
Yeah.
And then
So
Jar can point out what the temperatures are if you really want to know exact values. So he will say what the actual values are.
Yeah, I'll keep you guys updated because usually we get a lot of questions regarding, hey, how is the cooling, how are the temperatures, when you do this kind of stuff, it really like pushes the CPU to the max, and then you can really know, okay, so at max performance, that's like the kind of temperature
some people
that you can expect.
doing predictions again.
So it's running right now.
Yes.
Some people are saying this up. You can see the graph is already like rising up because that's how fast it goes.
Rulik is saying 87 degrees max, I bet. So we'll see. We'll see if you're correct or not.
And you really have to keep in mind that the 10900KF is a very
it's a monster.
But it's quite a power hungry and / heat producing CPU.
Yes.
So to keep it tamed at max performance with the single radiator all-in-one, it's going to be quite
a challenge. I'm seeing 72 predictions of 72 degrees. Then Lolokia is saying 91,
idle
99.
So idle is started at 30 degrees per core.
Yeah,
and as you
30,
can see,
31.
as it went up from 30 to 35, 60, that's like the sharp vertical rise. That's like from 30 to 65.
But it's already done.
Yeah, and it just finished, so it's sitting at, let me just run again.
Can you put it in like a I don't know, repeat mode that it'll run for a bit? I don't know if it's possible.
I'm not sure there's the option for that. Maybe advanced benchmark. I don't think I see it.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. People are saying, is the case open?
Yeah, the case is actually open, and this is a normal
you were supposed to close it, remember? People said that the side panel should go on.
Okay, so good point. We're going to do a live interaction from your ideas, with your ideas. So right now we have the open case.
You can do two versions. So he's now doing the benchmark without the side panel on, and he's going to put it on in a minute. And then
I'm just going to keep running it like without any stops to make sure that the CPU is really being strained, so it doesn't have this cool down period. So it's just going to keep on running, and to see then what the temperature is going to do with this open case. So it's running for the second time right after each other. As you can see, the highest that it is reaching, it's really like the top, it's like 79 degrees, and usually it's sitting at around 76, 75. So it's really being tamed temperature-wise.
Yep.
It's still running. And then, so let's just make a consensus of saying the temperature is at 75 degrees on average, if it's like running at max. And then we're going to close it up and see what's happening then.
Yeah.
Okay, it just finished. Let me close it up.
Yeah, people are asking, now go with tempered glass to see, you know, the difference.
You guys really want to make us sweat, huh?
I honestly don't think there will be much of a difference because it's water cooled, guys.
Yep.
So it doesn't really rely on airflow that much. But also, the tempered glass panel, as you can see, it's not completely attached to the chassis. There's space in between, so it doesn't affect airflow that much, or it shouldn't.
Surprise, surprise! I still have 4 screws.
There you go, nice.
All right, so it's completely closed now. Well, it's the tempered glass is like closed, but it's
Exactly.
not air sealed. So let's do it again.
Tempered glass is back on. Yeah, just run a couple of them. See how we do.
It's shuffling back again, so annoying. That's what I'm going to show right after this, the power usage. Somehow it just magically keeps popping back.
It wants to show itself.
So with the case closed, we're running at 73, 75, 76, 75, 77, max 78. So previously the max was 79. Actually, sort of. Okay, now the max is also 79. So it's kind of the same.
Yeah. Maybe
so like Peter said,
it just ticked 80, maybe. But that's like it's almost that's within margin of error. So
yeah. So okay. The last mini point, like the last point, is like 80, but that's the only time that it reached 80. So it's really max 79 versus 80, and average of 75 versus maybe 76 within the margin of error.
Yes.
5 degrees hotter? No, definitely not.
No. What's the ambient temperature in the MSI studio? I would say about 23, 24 degrees.
Yeah, something like that. Okay, yeah, so that's for the temperature. And if I take a look at, let me just take everything away. So the other question what people usually ask is, what about power?
Somebody's asking, could this be changed to air cooled? It can,
yeah,
but I don't know if you want to do that with this specific CPU, because it gets quite hot. So you would need a pretty beefy air cooler to get even close to this kind of, you know, water cooling performance. So I wouldn't recommend it, and that's mostly because of the CPU. But hey, you know, again, we're not going to tell you what you can't do. We just give advice, and yeah, no, if you still want to do that, yeah, you can.
Exactly. So right now I'm running the test again to push the CPU to the max, and the CPU package power, as you can see here, idle, it's sitting at around 21 watt, and now it's sitting at let's say 209,
above
200, 180, 211, so average around 210-ish.
That is pretty major though. That's a lot of power usage.
Yeah. Remember back in the days when...
I was going to say that. when you know, the CPU was about 100, maybe 120 watts, something like that. And now just, you know, a cool 200 plus watts.
Yep. So like I said earlier, when we have like a 750 watt of power supply in there, and the CPU like at max performance is, let's say in this case, only requiring 212 watt max, you will still have like, let's take it like with a big margin of error, like say you have 500 watt left to use in your system, and the NVIDIA GPUs are they're relatively quite power sufficient. So the 500 watt is going to be quite something for you to really
Yeah, I mean,
use
if you
up.
like something like a 2080 Ti overclocked and you know really pushing it to the limit, you're gonna get over maybe just over 300 watts usage. But that's, you know, you really have to start pushing it at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've got a lot of headroom there.
So we just showed you guys what the CPU is going to require when being pushed to the max. So later after this, I'm going to fire up some gaming benchmarks to really push the GPU to the max, and then show you guys what the GPU is going to require power-wise, and then you'll have a better understanding of why this 750 watt bronze PSU is more than enough to handle this kind of specification, configuration. So yeah, that's for Cinema Bench. Eventually we got a score of 6,239 points, which was just a little bit below the Ryzen Threadripper 1150X with 16 cores.
So not bad at all. Pretty friggin' sweet.
So yeah, definitely you have some multitasking or CPU heavy stuff with editing or content
I saw
creation.
someone say in the chat, my spreadsheets would run so fast, I'm drooling.
I can see where it's coming from.
Yeah,
Definitely.
They would.
Okay, so yeah, earlier we mentioned, right, so with Afterburner, really perhaps the most popular app from us. It's yeah, here you really have the room to start to get into, you know, overclocking for your GPU. In this case too, you're not going to we're going to be honest with you, like the GPU is really so powerful and it's already running so fast. There isn't that much headroom left for you to overclock to begin with, but yes, technically there's still room left.
Yeah.
And we can show you how you can safely do this without really having much of knowledge. And you don't have to be afraid of, oh, if I do this, am I going to break my GPU? Because, you know, this way you can also try to safely get into this kind of world where you can tweak around with the hardware, learn what to do, what not to do, and stuff like that. And this is really safe.
There's two ways of doing it, especially with an NVIDIA card, right? So there's the manual way, and there's indeed the easy way, basically.
If you really know what you're doing and you like to do some try and errors, you can do the manual way. So you can use the sliders here, adjusting power limit and temperature limit. You can set how much more megahertz of clock speed you want to have, memory clock speed. Let me just reset this. Yeah, if you know what you're doing and you like to do try and errors, this is the way to go. I mean, it's still being safely capped at its capped at its max, at which maybe Peter can confirm. You cannot.
Well, yeah, I would say, you know, you don't have to be afraid especially with the cards of the past couple of generations. If you're going to overclock with Afterburner, the regular version that you can get from our website. You don't have to be afraid that you're going to break anything. The worst that can happen is that you might get a blue screen or a black screen because the drivers or the graphics card itself might become unstable. But once that happens, it will just reset back to its default values and kind of reboot. So the picture should come back after a few seconds. If it doesn't, usually just hard rebooting the PC will be enough. So it will definitely not break the card, or it shouldn't at least. So there's no real danger of that. And indeed, it's fun to mess around with, you know. And I've seen some people, they like undervolting, which is kind of, you know, increasing efficiency of graphics cards, which can be very useful in small form factor builds because they will use less power, which means less heat output, while still maintaining the same performance. That's possible. So there's really a lot that you can do. And there's, of course, you know, just trying to get more performance out of it, no matter the efficiency or power usage. So yeah, I mean, it's just a tool that enables you to do a lot. And also monitoring, I mean, the tool that Ja showed you, which is still in the background, hardware info, will also give you a lot of information. But Afterburner is also a really nice tool to do that. Also has the additional benefit of being able to put an OSD or on-screen display, which means that basically you can select which values you want to show on top of your game. So while playing a game, and you still want to, you know, monitor your system performance because, for example, maybe you're experiencing problems, or maybe you just want to see what's going on. But it's a really useful tool to find out, you know, is my system being fully utilized, or if something is bottlenecking, what is bottlenecking, what is being pushed to 100%. So yeah, it's a really useful tool. And we've got some, I did some stream about that a long time ago as well to show you guys how to overclock. I think stream was called how to use Afterburner, how to overclock with Afterburner. So yeah, if you guys want to know more about that, you can go and look at that video. But there's so much you can do with it. It's a really useful tool, and we try to give you a lot of options, but also include the easy option, which is the OC scanner, which is the bottom at the very top left indeed. So that basically is one-click overclocking, and then that will start a process, which will mean if you indeed would click scan, you don't have to do it now. It will start a process where the card will start trying to determine how much more can I get out of this while maintaining good cooling, and at certain power levels. And it's basically just free performance. The kind of performance difference you can expect out of this is typically maybe up to about 5 to 7%. It's not like it's going to be twice as fast. You have to be realistic about this, but it's still free performance.
Yeah, definitely.
And one thing to keep in mind though is that with the OC scanner, it will only overclock your GPU. So the memory itself will not be overclocked, but it can be. And that's usually also something that we do recommend, because the memory is usually not really running at its top speed. So it's a nice tip to get, again, a bit of extra performance out of it, is to overclock your memory by a couple of 100 megahertz. Very easy to do, gives you a quick boost. So
yeah, so like Peter said, when you click on OC scanner, so once again, only for the NV cards, so not for AMD.
Will it run faster if you pet it? Yes, and if you even if you talk nice to it, it will be even faster.
Will it be my gaming buddy?
Exactly.
Yeah, so getting back to business, you can click on the test, or you can click on scan, where it will just scan for the optimum settings, and you can try to test and apply it. And then after that, it's really just autopilot. So there really isn't anything for you to do except for confirm. Then that's all. And yeah, like Peter said, automatic overclocking feature.
Yes.
And then after that, if you're comfortable with this kind of information, you can try to do some manual overclocking to see, to play around in general. I mean, it's not going to give you like a significant performance boost, but hey, it's still going to be quite fun to mess around with. Yeah, so that's Afterburner. And I heard somebody say he wished that that we would modernize MSI Afterburner's interface, but actually you can choose the different kind of skins.
Yes.
There are tons of other skins that you can choose. So if you don't like this one, you can go for something else.
That one is actually. Can you choose the one at the very top maybe? Because that's like the old school. You just click apply. That's like the old school Afterburner skin. If you guys, if any of you there, are like my age, I don't know if that's old or not, but and you've been into hardware for a long time and playing around with things like Afterburner, this is how it looked back in the day. So it's already had some modernization, but it's cool because indeed I think there's even custom skins that you can download for it. So even it's not just the list that you've got in Afterburner itself. It comes with a couple of skins that you can choose from. But there's even custom skins that you can download. Or if you are a creative person with Photoshop and stuff like, you can even create your own skin. So it's quite cool.
Yeah.
The OG Afterburner. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it for now for Afterburner, and now we're going to do some more fun stuff with games, right, guys? That's what we like.
Hell yeah.
So we talked about the Cinebench and some GPU overclocking recommendation tips and tricks. We have had the temperatures, and we talked about cooling. Now, let me first start with Metro Exodus. Still not sure how to pronounce the Exodus. Exodus.
That's right.
All right. It's still one of my favorite games, just like, especially if you take a look at how much detail and attention they put into the artwork and the graphics and the mechanics of the game. It's still one of the heavy titles when it comes to visual performance. So if your game is running well, hardware is running well with Metro, it's you know that you're sitting pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
So
By the
right
way,
now,
indeed, so the resolution is 1080p because that's the limit of the stream. We can only stream at a max of resolution of 1080p.
Exactly, and also, maybe more interesting for you guys to know, because since a majority of the people are still gaming on 1080p, you're gonna have more relevant information. But yeah, like we said before, honestly, this system is kind of more meant for 1440p gaming, but if you prefer to be gaming 1080p, well, this, like majority of the people for now, this is the kind of performance you get with this game on extreme settings. So they have two different kind of settings for, well, the max settings for the benchmark, which one is extreme with RTX on and extreme with RTX off, because this is one of the games where you can also utilize NVIDIA's RTX feature. So let me just first start with extreme, but then without RTX, so everything really set to max. Motion blur, I really hate that. I don't know why anybody would ever use motion blur, but I'm just gonna put it to low. And the rest, I'm just going to run the test. And then we can also see...
There's a good question by Scott, Scott Klink. Will it be completely installed, or do we need to do that? You need to see it like if you buy a laptop, for example, first time you start it up, there will be Windows on it, for example, and it takes you through the installation process because you need to, make your own profiles. It kind of works like that with a desktop, so it's the same process. So yes, a lot of things are pre-installed. Some drivers might need updating, obviously, because, well, it depends on when the PC was created, was built and assembled, and how long it takes before you buy it, for example, if you do. There will be newer drivers that have come out by then, so it's always good to update your drivers. There will be drivers on there already, so the PC should work out of the box, but newer drivers will be available. And yeah, I hope that answers your question. It doesn't come with games pre-installed yet. Maybe that's something that we might consider in the future, but yeah. Short of indeed downloading games or whatever you want to do on it, everything is installed out of the box.
Yeah, so Peter mentioned earlier with Afterburner, you can have like in-game overlays with a lot of specific hardware information. And yes. I just noticed I closed Afterburner, so I just restarted again. So now we should have.
There you go. Yep.
So on the right upper corner, you can see I put up there the GPU usage. So it's like a 98% really being pushed to the max, 98, 99%, and the temperature is running at 60-ish. And the CPU working a little bit less hard because it's a very visual intensive game on your GPU. Yes. And
you can see also the GPU is being stressed to about 98%, so that means the GPU is being fully stressed. The CPU, not so much, 20%, 23%. So this is usually normal with visually demanding games, indeed.
But it can also mean that the game is less well optimized.
Well,
because
that again, depends. If you want to describe Crysis, would you describe it as a visually demanding game or a very poorly optimized game?
Maybe both.
Both. Technically, both are not wrong. Mm-hmm. It just depends on how you want to say it.
And after that, you get a nice report.
Now, by the way, guys, this benchmarking is not really usually. It doesn't really give a good idea of the actual FPS you'll get in games. Benchmark is really meant to stress everything to the max and see what happens. So
we got
I see some people saying, only 30 to 50 FPS at full HD. Yeah, that doesn't sound very impressive for a 2080 Super, but trust me, in the game itself, at this resolution, you'll be watching a hell of a lot higher FPS.
It could be, at some moments there were some bottlenecks
dips
in the game itself.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
But the average frame rate was actually 127
well, there you go.
Extreme settings.
Yes.
And let me just make sure that RTX wasn't on anywhere. No. So that's how it goes.
I see. They were saying indeed you were showing min frames. Maybe that's in Afterburner also. I'm not sure if you were what you selected that it's showing. Not the actual frame rate, but minimum frame rate. So it's
that is a possibility, but I don't think so. But I can check. Oh, I'm not used to this old interface. But let me see. So monitoring.
Scroll down in the list. It should be there. It's pretty much at the bottom. There you go. Average. Oh, average. Okay.
Yeah.
Just put the frame rate above that. So that is the one. Yeah. No, sorry. You don't have to drag it, but just disable the average, because I don't think. I mean, you just want to see the actual. And then if you just at the bottom where it says, can you go back? Just a little bit down there when you have to select the frame rate again first in the list. Yep. And then indeed show in display, and then now it says only text. Can you text plus graph? I would say. No, text plus graph. So yeah, exactly. Because then you can also see the changes in a graph as it happens. So it's kind of like, then you can skip the average because you can kind of see how it goes.
So let's...
Can we upgrade this PC? Manta Devi? Yes, you can.
Oh, wait.
There's at the moment not that much for you to upgrade to. But yeah, if you're talking about, future upgrades, yes.
Actually, there was like a whole part where I covered what I covered saying just how easy it actually was to upgrade, and that we actually encourage you to do so.
You've done a whole stream which is actually called, I think, "It's So Easy to Upgrade."
Oh yeah.
So if you want more information about that, or you're just wondering, you can always look up that stream after this one. There you go. So now you can see, the FPS, the actual FPS value, but also how much it fluctuates if it does. How many years is this PC future-proof? I wish I knew. You never know. That's the thing about it. But having a lot of years of experience in games and stuff, I think you should be set for at least five years or something with the current build. But it again, it really depends on how fast development goes in both hardware and games. So some games might be so challenging. Like if you get an actual new Crysis, which is able to torture hardware to the extent that it did back when it Crysis originally launched. Yeah, that's something you might not be able to do at full blast, but that is then the point of that software. So for normal games, you need to consider that normal games also, they want to make sure that it's not just a very small % of people with very high-end builds that are able to play the game. So developers themselves will try to make the game more accessible for hardware up to a certain point in a number of years ago. So you can pretty safely assume that you'll be able to play games even at really high resolutions and high settings in a couple of years into the future, easily.
Let's see. So I've already done this benchmark quite a few times already.
Yep.
Average 1 to 27 frames per second sounds about right. With everything on extreme.
Yeah.
Let's see. But besides that, we can also show you guys.
Oh, this is interesting indeed. Somebody's saying, Airfault is saying 20% utilization of CPU is good. It means that you still have 80% headroom left to, for example, stream or do other things without causing issues in the game. Yeah, that's absolutely right. But again, if you, for example, if Java were to start a game like Counter-Strike or Valorant, for example, which really relies on high FPS, like hundreds, you would probably see that the GPU is actually not stressed to 100%. So you would have headroom left on the GPU, and the CPU, well, it really depends. I don't know how many cores they use. So, assuming they will not use all the cores, you also still have some cores available for example, for streaming, even on your CPU. So yeah, this PC, I mean, for pretty much anything you can think of, you can pretty much throw at this thing, and it'll be able to handle it easily.
Yeah,
you'd have to think of some pretty specific and ridiculous things to bottleneck this one.
All right, so let me try to show you guys some live footage of in-game. Okay, for that I'm gonna need some internet connection.
Ooh. Yeah, stay strong, everybody. We will announce the winner soon. We just also want to
Getting
give,
really close.
Yeah, we also want to give everybody the chance to participate. So, but it won't be long, guys. I promise. What is my current rig? Maybe I'll address that in the next stream. But yeah, kind of want to focus on this one now. Don't want to take the attention away from this beast. I'll just say it's not as powerful as the one we're giving away today. That you know, that I can say.
I was just about to ask, is it like on par or?
No.
Okay, let me just go to the settings first, show you guys what setting it's on right now. So extreme, so really the max. VSync off, of course, always have VSync off. I hate motion blur, it's on low. It's on DirectX 12. RTX is off for now. Otherwise, sharing rates. All right, so let me just continue.
There's also no point in using DLSS, by the way, because you're on 1080p.
Yeah.
Motion blur off? Hell yeah. Is this like an RGB thing? Like you either hate it or love it, the motion blur thing? Because I always turn it off. If I see the option, it's off.
And it seems like the makers of Metro didn't even put in the option to turn it off. It's only low, medium, or high. So
there you go.
It pretty much speaks for itself what they were like. Yeah.
I'm really wondering, are there people in the chat, maybe you guys can tell me, but are there people that really love motion blur, that really think that it's really something that you think adds something to the game? I'm just wondering. You know, I don't want to judge. My opinion is I usually just turn it off because I don't know. It for me usually just doesn't feel right. Vomit blur. All right, so I'm seeing a lot of people that saying it's annoying, they turn it off.
Something feels weird.
Right. Motion blur shaming. Well, I kind of wanted to avoid that, actually. You know, again, you know, this is something. If you like it and it's something that you enjoy, then that's fine. You know, it's an option. You can turn it on or off. But I was really wondering, like, I know my preference, but I would really also like to know if people like it, you know, what is it exactly they like about it? It's just, I don't know. Okay, if I win, I'll let you know. What is DLSS? Yeah, it's a dynamic scaling, basically. So what it is it tries to, if you're at 4K resolution, for example, it will render some parts of the image of what you're seeing on the screen in a lower resolution to increase your performance, and it will try to determine which parts it can render at a lower resolution, also based on what you know what's in the middle of the screen, and then it will try to use the tensor cores, the AI cores, to basically scale it back up to the, for example, 4K resolution. And so in the end, the goal there is to give you better performance, while at the same time not degrading your visual quality.
Actually, I just noticed something weird.
The frame rate is capped at 60.
Yeah.
They say. Yeah, it's
which
probably,
wasn't the case before.
I think this is like an old issue that we had with because you can clearly see the GPU is not, it's only halfway utilized,
only halfway
and the
there.
CPU not even. I think this is like an issue that we had when you're using the capture card through HDMI capture. That the capture card is capped at 60 FPS. It can only capture 1080p at 60 FPS. So that's probably what's going on here.
Wasn't there a way
Turn
that
off VSync? You can check the settings to see if you've got VSync on. I doubt it.
No. It's FreeSync?
No, VSync.
Oh, VSync. No, it's
Vertical
off. It's
sync.
off. But it's 100% capped at 60. But that's weird.
There's something chasing you and attacking you.
Yeah, I know. I'm out of bullets, so I cannot really do
Okay.
anything about it.
All right.
Wasn't there a way that we could like change this? Because it's
There
weird. It
was,
wasn't
but
like this before.
It takes a bit of
Yesterday.
time, and you have to kind of switch the windows, and it's like, yeah. Need to upgrade that capture card. Yeah, maybe, indeed. You know, we're also looking at, for future, for example, we've been looking at high resolution. But, I mean, for video making, that is, of course, possible. You can already, for example, on YouTube, you can easily upload videos in 4K. But streaming is a bit of a different story. It also has to do with bandwidth that's available, for example. So, and I mean, even for the future, even further in the future, we might want to look at HDR support. Because obviously, once that gets more common, we want to be able to show you that on stream and the effect it has. But then it's even still depending on if you know the monitor or the phone or whatever you're watching it on, if that is HDR capable. Because if it's not, then we can enable it, we can stream it, but you still can't see it. Anyway, even in a game like this isn't a competitive game, so you 100 FPS or more is nice. It's not really required, so anything above 60, and you can see, I mean, I think it's quite clear that 60 is not at all a problem for this card. You can probably expect over 100 if you're not having the same issue that we are with when you're trying to do live streaming on a capture card at the same time.
All right. That was a little bit of a bummer.
Exactly, Bear. Even at 60 FPS, the Afterburner is showing on the screen that the GPU is not using 100%, even about anywhere between 50 and 60%. So it means that you can kind of guess that you still have a lot of headroom left. So indeed, if it wasn't capped by the capture card, you can expect to have, well, near 100 or over 100 FPS on average.
Yeah, so the benchmark showed us it's 127 on average.
Yeah.
So let's get into.
So we can't stream and get good FPS. Low FPS noob. I'm not sure why you would say that, because there is. Oh, okay. Sorry. No. This is a very specific situation where you can stream, but because we are using an external capture device. So if you would stream from this PC itself, and we'll get back to that later, by the way. But if you would stream from the Infinite X itself, you would get really smooth FPS because it's not affected. It's just a very specific situation where we are using an external PC to do the streaming, to handle the streaming, and we have to basically capture the Infinite X, JAWS PC, the imagery to the streaming PC, and we do that with a capture card, an HDMI capture card, and that's what's causing the limitation here. So if you don't have this specific situation that we are using, and maybe it's even the capture card we're using that's causing this limit, maybe other capture cards don't have this. So no, I think you should be able to stream and game very smoothly, depending on your setup. Is it VR capable? Yes, very. This one, I mean, even if you have, Ja, you did the stream about Alex, right?
Yes.
The VR AAA.
Yeah, we actually, it was a 2-part stream.
Yes. So if you would want to play that game, and that's one of the really demanding games, with the Valve Index, for example, that's a headset with
or
two
HTC Vive and stuff like that.
Yeah, which has two Quad HD monitors basically that you have to power, because each eye, basically each glass, is a 1440p resolution pretty much. This PC would be more than capable of handling that. So yes, this one can handle pretty much any VR game out there right now and be really smooth. Can I get it? Stick around and we'll find out.
Yeah, I just had some issues with Steam. It wouldn't load, so I guess now it works. Yeah, now it works.
All right.
So let's go.
How's the summer sale going for you?
I threw away my credit card and my logging and my PayPal, anything that I can think of.
It's a classic case of Gaben. Please, no, don't
stop taking my money.
Exactly. Leave my wallet alone. I like what they did with the extra stuff though, the stickers and the profile stuff. It's something like another dimension. It's like skins for Steam. It's really clever what they've done, I think, and it doesn't look bad at all as well. So yeah,
that is definitely true.
I'm seeing people saying $100 spent was already spent. No regrets. Nice.
Well, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe, perhaps, maybe, just maybe, I fixed the issue. I think because of the capture card, the screen's refresh rate was automatically set back to 60 hertz.
Oh, I see. All right, yeah.
And that's why the game was capped at 60 FPS. But I just changed it back to 240 because that's what the monitor is capable of.
That could be it, yeah.
And let's see, trying again with Metro if it's now
again, you know, this is it's max. Like we've been spending a lot of time to try and figure out how to uncap the FPS. So yeah, that looks promising. I saw.
Oh, it's already above 60.
Yeah.
Let's see its true potential.
High 100 FPS hype.
Oh, 100, see, that's better. So now we're running at max settings, and he's going, 111, 130.
Is this max settings with RTX enabled or disabled?
No, this is with RTX disabled.
Disabled, right.
Yeah.
Just for you guys.
You can see in a moment, like even reach 160 in the, right here.
Whoa, right, cool.
And this is a very visually demanding game, guys.
Yes.
So let's just, to joke around, see what happens when I turn on RTX. RTX on.
Oh yeah. Ray tracing.
Let's start with Ultra. Let's see, because why not?
All the way.
So remember, we were sitting in this scene specifically at 160-ish.
Yeah.
And now we are sitting at
18. No, wait.
Wait, did it save? No, it's off again.
Ray tracing off. That's strange.
Okay.
Oh wait, maybe DLSS? I think that was. It looked like it was enabled. Maybe you have to disable it manually before it.
Okay. Do you want to save the settings? Okay, enter.
Okay, yeah, that looks like it. Okay. Yeah.
So instead of 160, 150-ish, we went back to 80, 90-ish in this
Which is still pretty freaking smooth. It's like almost up to 100.
Look at the
And that's
lighting.
with RTX on at the highest setting. So there's even a setting below that. Okay, it's dipping a little bit down now, but is it a cutscene? Oh no, it's...
That guy is so handsome.
Nah, no. So attractive. Whoa.
Oh, I died. Okay, let's turn RTX back off and see how well it runs.
4K resolution now. We wish we could show you that, but again, the stream, we can only stream at full HD, 1080p. So that's what we can show you. Otherwise, we'd have to, we can't, if we want to do 4K, we could show you, but we can't do it live. We would have to either pre-record it, or we would have to point a camera at the screen, which, just doesn't look as good.
Burn! Burn, baby, burn. It's called what? Inferno.
Disco Inferno. I hope we don't get copyright for me singing this.
I mean, we're not using anything, right? Our mouth is not...
No, if it sounds enough like it, you might have, because it's like an algorithm that's trying to determine if
really,
you're using...
it even goes after your voice.
I don't know. Depends on if it, if it was, I would take it as a compliment. Maybe I should consider a singing career then.
Mike might get into trouble because yesterday he was humming something else.
Oh?
It was gimme, gimme, gimme.
Oh, thanks for comforting me there. See the whole truth. He's saying, I don't think you have to worry, Peter.
How now is the system? Well, right now it's like the GPU is running at 97%, so pretty much maxed out. And I want to ask you, do you hear a computer rumbling around?
Fan, yeah.
If not, then maybe the answer speaks for itself.
You will hear something if you're there in person, but it's, you know, especially if you have the sound of the game on, and you know, I'm gonna go on a limb here, but if you are running a game like that, you will either have a sound system on or a headset on, and I promise you, this is not like any kind of amount of sound that will take anything away from the game. It will not distract you.
Okay, so let's see if this GPU is still running at max, because I just turned on the power usage back on to show you guys what we mentioned earlier, like
for
when
the
the
CPU
GPU
or
will
the
run
GPU?
at max, how much headroom you still have left. What's oh, okay. Jesus.
Well, you don't have any ammo left?
Nope.
Oh.
I started off with 2 ammo, which is 2 bullets. Really nice.
Right.
It's like they want you to die.
Man, it's been a while since I played that. I'm sure there's some ammo laying around. I just can't remember where. I'm trying to remember
this
it.
was kind of the scavenging kind of game, huh?
A little
Where you
bit,
have to
yeah.
find
But this
ammo
is
and
like the
stuff.
beginning, so this shouldn't be too hard at this point. Yet.
Are you saying that I suck?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Okay, so GPU is still running at max. Let's see what the power is doing for the GPU. So running at 250 watt max. So yeah, if you remember, the CPU was only running at 210 max, and the GPU was only running at 250 max. So combine that, it's only 460, not even 500 watt.
And during this gaming, how much? Because you got the CPU above there as well, right? So how much is the CPU doing during this?
CPU is only doing max 75.
75. All right, there you go.
Yeah, so you even have enough headroom left to like upgrade later in the later stage to an even more powerful GPU that requires
Simon
more
Hansen,
power.
is it good? Is this a good build for CS:GO? Hell yes. This will give you hundreds of FPS in Counter-Strike.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna give you so much FPS that you're pretty much gonna get global elite within like 2 weeks.
No, unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. I mean, it's still down to you.
Oh, I forgot RGB.
But you know,
you need to have RGB enabled.
You know the thing that sucks about getting a good PC when you're playing games like that, you stop having it as an excuse. You can't really blame the PC anymore at that point. You have to say maybe it is me that sucks.
At some point, that is going to be undeniable.
Well, it depends.
So let me try out with Thumb Raider and see how this game runs.
Vishnu, I see your question. I see you posted a couple of times. What is DirectX 12 Ultimate in the latest Windows update? I don't want to get into that right now because it's really a really different topic. But we'll see if we can answer that for you in maybe one of the coming streams as well. It's mostly down to giving. Short answer, pretty much. I'll give you a short answer because I don't want to dodge the question completely. It's basically down to giving developers more access and more tools to use DirectX 12. So to basically increase the usage of it. But again, we can get into it maybe in one of the coming streams a bit more.
So here we have Shadow of the Thumb Raider maxed out at Ultra.
Kevin, is MSI a Dutch company? No, it's an international company. Our HQ is in Taiwan. We've had a couple of streams, actually, I think maybe, was it last year? Yeah, where we actually did a nice report where some of our co-workers were visiting our HQ. So we made some recordings there as well, some video recordings, so you can see that. But we do have offices around the world, so in a lot of different countries, one including indeed the Netherlands, where we are located.
I have no idea what I'm doing, guys, so I'm just trying to show you guys around. I guess this is what I need.
Okay.
So
people are trying to help you here. So climb the wall on the left side, they're saying.
Climb the wall on the left side. Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay. Makes sense. So yeah, sitting comfortably at 100 plus FPS.
You know, I
majority of the
remember
time.
playing this game with...
How am I supposed to climb this wall?
Well, you know, look, I think the spider wall maybe, but
Oh, I see.
I remember playing this game with Mike back in the, I think it was a stream about widescreen monitors, and this game is full of puzzles. So at some point you're gonna be, you know, really scratching your head, going, "What the hell am I supposed to do here?" That's the point of this game as well. So don't feel, you know, dumb or anything because you can't figure it out. That it's supposed to be hard. That's the point of this game.
No, that's not supposed to happen. But yeah, okay, guys. I learned something again. I should climb the wall right here.
Yeah. Has the giveaway ended? No, it's still open, but it will end soon because
but I guess,
we're gonna be announcing
since
the winner
people are
soon.
asking about the giveaway so much, we might as well get to it because yeah, with another
we're gonna do
very graphically intensive game, we're sitting around 90 plus and 100 plus, depending, of course, what area you're on. And yeah, I think that pretty much really shows the performance of this little guy right here.
Little guy.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
a
being
damn huge
the reverse
performance
psychology here.
beast. All right, guys. So, are you ready for this?
I guess we have finally arrived at that stage.
Are you guys ready? Because it's time to give it away.
So, Peter, have you
I
you done the honor?
I just want to enjoy this moment. Draw out the suspense
Remember,
just a little bit more.
If it's Eric, just redraw.
Yeah, of course. No, but I mean, you know, guys. Again, if guys are just joining the stream, I'm going to give you a couple, you know, 1 or 2 minutes to participate, to get in. So if you haven't, do it now, and you'll still have a chance.
I mean, it's. Please do remember, it is the first time we have done such a big giveaway in the history of our live stream.
Yes. Yes.
So
it's
I
actually,
can imagine it's quite a milestone.
You know, I'm not a person that can win, but it's good that we don't have like a heart rate monitor, because my heart rate is rising right now. I'm getting really excited. You know.
All right, bad boys. Who is it gonna be?
Well, who's gonna be, you know, having a friggin' boss level PC when we get done? Holy crap!
I mean, just one thing left to do.
Yeah.
It's good to see the good vibe in the chat. Everyone is wishing each other good luck.
Exactly. Yeah. Winner chicken dinner. Yeah, that's right. That is right.
Yeah, who is it gonna be?
All right, guys.
Oh, do you have it?
No.
Oh.
We're gonna
I gotta keep you entertained until then.
We're gonna count down.
Give you a few last looks of this thing that you might win or might not win.
Yeah, that you have a chance to win.
Don't you just wanna tweak and tune the little dragon in there? Just because you can. Remember, guys, 10th generation i9 RTX 2080 Super.
All right.
Pretty much gonna dominate anything you're gonna put. You're gonna throw its weight. So
We've got so many
You're gonna be
entries.
so lucky.
I'm actually
So lucky.
I'm just getting to the part where it's gonna, you know, the script
I
is gonna
see.
draw a random winner.
apparently we have so many
The
entries
loading?
that the loading screen
Yes.
is just taking so long
Yeah.
for the system to actually pick a winner.
So
So
good
again,
job
we
on
have
that.
we have no control over who
It's not
wins.
broken. Don't worry. It's not broken. It's just gonna. It's taking a sweet time. All right. I think we have. Yeah, it just popped up on my screen. Here we go.
Yeah, we have it.
Yes.
Who is it?
The nickname is the Rooks, but
The Rooks.
I think one of the I think we've seen him in the chat more often as Edwin K.
I remember something like that. Yeah, I think it's The Rooks or / Edwin K.
Yeah. So the nickname that's in the system is the Rooks.
We just announced the winner.
Yeah. Congratulations,
It's
dude.
not me.
Holy crap.
Well, congratulations for setting this milestone together with us. And well, I'm pretty sure you have an entire chat full of haters right now, but it's definitely worth it.
No. I mean, this is the thing. Everybody's congratulating him.
Yeah, I know. It's just a joke.
Good vibes all around.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Really good to see. Nobody is salty. Everyone's having a good vibe.
Yeah. Wow. Jeez.
Yeah, I guess we just gave away a
I kind of hope that we just
worth.
changed somebody's life. You know, I don't know if we want to go
if that thing doesn't
far.
change your life.
I don't want to go that far, maybe, you know, but it's like this is a huge deal.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that any relationship that guy has is going to change for now.
Yeah.
He's gonna disappear from the world. Just gone.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, guys. I'm not sure about you guys, but it was a very tense, full live stream because we knew in the back of our heads that we're gonna give away this close to $3,000 gaming PC, and there's only gonna be one winner. Of course, we wanted to make all of you guys happy, but that's just not how this works.
Well, there could only be one winner today, and that's indeed. So it's on the one hand, you're really happy and you're excited because you get to give away this. So you're gonna make somebody happy beyond anything pretty much you can think of. But at the same time, because only one person can win, it also kind of sucks. But I do want to thank everybody for joining and participating. We appreciate everybody.
Yes, definitely. One of the best streams, or the most fun stream that actually we had. Yeah. So really thanks to you guys.
Yes. Really appreciate the positive vibes and participating in the chat, the questions. Thank you for that. Yeah. That really makes it really great for us to do this kind of stream as well. We really hope to see you with future streams as well. We hope you like the content.
Yeah, perhaps.
Again, pretty much every week every week on Wednesday we have a stream, and I think I can't really remember the last time we didn't have a giveaway during stream.
That's really rare.
Mostly they're not quite as big as this one, I have to admit, but still. So yeah, if for no other reason then you can win something, you can always join, or you can just come and hang out and chill during our stream. As
you have seen, we always try to have fun here. Yes. Not just throwing information at you, but we're trying to get some useful stuff your way, but also try to have a good laugh with you. We keep the chat monitored so that we can see and react to you guys, have some interaction, and we just hope you have fun today and learn some stuff, and hope to see you next time too.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we didn't mention this, but for the winner, Edwin, we will contact you, obviously. So I guess you're freaking out now and wondering, okay, so what happens now? We're going to contact you with the contact data you've entered. If it is correct, and I hope so, then we will be in touch with you. If it isn't, maybe next week we'll have a really good giveaway again.
Yep, guys, and just
I hope not. But
think of it this way. Hey, don't be sad because we were not even allowed to participate. At least you had the chance.
Oh, come on. You get to play with hardware like this, for a job. So I mean, is there really a need for you to win it as well?
I guess that's one way to look at it, right? Glass is half full, so I'll take that.
And you get to flex with it. Hashtag infinite flex, guys.
I thought we were just over that. All right, Peter. So let's go. What are we going to do next week?
Yes. So next week, me and Jai will be back. And we will be building a streaming PC, the streaming PC of tomorrow. So basically the goal here is to build a streaming PC from scratch that can handle both gaming and streaming at the same time. And it's not just building it. The goal is also that we're going to be showing you live, some gameplay and streaming, and how the system performs while doing those things simultaneously, and why you can very easily build a PC that can do both at the same time. So yeah, I hope you guys will join us for that. It's going to be fun, guaranteed. Looking forward to it already. And yeah, holy crap, we just gave away. Is it the most expensive build that we pretty much have?
Close to, but like really close to. The Trident X will be the most close one. Yeah,
it's one of the most expensive builds. So yeah, again, thank you all for joining.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Hope to see you again next week.
It was a lot of fun. So,
and have a nice evening.
Have a good day.
Bye bye.